RH said, of course you won't see. RH, you as a white man, you never see that you're the world's problem. So of course you would say no. Duh. Good morning all. I hope everybody is well. Things are good in your world. So this is the topic today. Do you think white men will see that they are the world's problems? Do you guys think that they see it? Do you guys think that they're too busy deflecting, trying to distract us as they've always done? Do you think that? Because that's exactly what I think. Aerodynamic, always a joy to see you. Exactly. History proves they are. This is what we look at, right? We look at history, we look at present day, we look at facts, we look at statistics, we bring in our own personal experiences too. And when we do that, what does it say? It says that white men are the world's problems. We're talking about the world here, not just things in locality. We're talking about the entire world. The 7 continents that white man has set his foot upon has caused a problem everywhere. So when is he going to fix up and see that he's the problem? When? This is my question. This is my question today. RH says, I'm here to speak as his perspective as all of us white men. Yeah, exactly. Narcissists. You got a British flag in your name. Like that's literally the equivalent of the Nazi flag. A Confederate flag. And so, of course, if you are the representative, RH, of white men everywhere, you are representing them perfectly. Exactly. You being the world's problem. Well done, RH. Well done. Yes, Palavin, you are also correct. Not just white men, but white females that support them also. You're very right. And I was deliberating today whether to put white women up there on the prompt as well. But I think we could also add that into the discussion as well for today. So my topic today actually was going to be something different. I was going to talk about how you would see the world. And just mute you for a minute to you, Sunshine. You got a lot of background noise. My prompt today was actually going to be, what do you think the world will look like in 10 years? That was going to be my plan. But Mother Nature, Mother Earth said, no, you need to still talk about white men because, of course, they're still not holding themselves accountable for the shit that they do. So it's still kind of linked because you're not going to be able to see the world in 10 years unless you actually understand that white men are the problem. That's what we actually have to do. Right, let me just check I'm on the right internet. Give me a minute. Yeah. Okay, just had to make sure I'm on the right internet. Let me check this one as well. Yes. Okay, good. Yes, so we've got now TU, thank you for Sunshine. I'm sure that's probably your name, right? So how are you today? I've asked you to unmute, please.
Hello.
Hello there, how are you?
Yeah, are you in the UK?
Don't ask me that question. It's not relevant to the topic. Do you think white men see they are the world's problem? This is the topic today. The topic doesn't say anything about me. It says about this. Would you like to answer the prompt, please?
I mean, I don't think they're the world's problem. I think they're their own problem.
You don't think that what they do affects the world?
Yeah, what they do affect the world, but not in a negative way.
Explain the positives then in your mind.
The cell phone you're using to live stream, that a white man invented that.
Oh
The
my
internet.
God. Wow. So isn't it so funny that white men always come up with the same stuff, technology? Like
Well,
you think technology you didn't think that technology didn't exist before you in many different ways. Like all white men do, I'm going to assume you're a white man because if you're not a white man and defending white men, it's a problem already. Are you white? You identify as white?
Yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
cool.
I feel like I'm arguing with a low IQ person though. Like this is kind of pointless.
Exactly right there. Like I say, white men always say the same thing. He's talking about telephone and he's talking about technology that he didn't even create himself, by the way, and then trying to say that I am the low IQ person. This is what happens every
niggers
single
ever
time,
shut
guys.
the fuck up? Seriously, fuck
So
niggers.
this is what
Like,
happens also
you're
is
pieces of
all they
shit.
have is
You're not worth
racism.
a fuck. Sit
All
here
they
and
have is
bitch and moan. The
racism
white
too.
people have always ruled
That's
this
all.
world. They always fucking will. Sit there, bitch and moan.
So Trump official,
Keep going.
do you actually have any Trump official? Do you have actually any words from your own mind that are not
Yeah,
about black
fuck
people?
you, nigger. That's what I got.
Have you? I just, yeah, exactly. That's all you've got. That's all you've got. And he's run away. You see, guys, that's all they have, and they run away. They literally cannot do anything at all. Nothing they can do.
Bro,
Say
you're
racist
just
stuff
babbling.
and run away.
Oh my lord, bro.
I want to know you personally. Thank you for sunshine. I want to know you personally, not what other white men have done before you, right? You personally. So you're in the United States, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think that white American men have done for the country, example? What do you think? Outside of this technology stuff, what else do you think that they've done?
They created the best nation on planet Earth that you blacks
Oh my God, these
try to get
Neanderthals.
into.
These racist Neanderthals. What do you mean try to get into? What do you mean try to get into?
I mean, you're in a white man's country, right? Right now, right? So
Again, guys, do you hear the Neanderthal? This guy has no original thoughts of his own. I've sat on this platform for 2 years and they just say the same stuff over and over again, making assumptions that I live in a white country when I moved 5 years ago to a Muslim country. I asked you for your own thoughts, thank you. I asked you for your own thoughts, not what other men have told you beforehand, what other Neanderthals have told you. I've asked you for your own personal thoughts. And you're just repeating white man's propaganda.
Didn't I just tell you, like, bro, you might not realize it because you're low IQ, but you're a joke. Like,
You see the
like, how do you not
see the
realize
projection,
that?
guys? See the projection, guys. The projection is honestly hilarious from these Neanderthals. They have
I'm
nothing
just
to
surprised
add,
you haven't
nothing
kicked
to
me
say,
yet, like
nothing to add, nothing to say, and so that one is done now. What I want to do, as I do sometimes, is I show you exactly what white men are. You see, they've got the prompt up here. They're the world's problem. They can't even actually talk about themselves. They talk about, yeah, exactly. You hear how slow he's talking. Your low IQ projection. You live in Europe. I don't live there. It's the same stuff over and over and over again. They've got no new thoughts, no new ideas, talking about how they think that the United States is such a great place when we all know that that is one of the big hubs of the problems of humanity. White men, in their Neanderthal nature, going to 7 continents, trying to colonize, trying to kill, trying to rape, do all of the bad things. All of the bad things on this planet have been done through white men. They don't know anything about the world before 400 years ago at all. And you see the way that they are evolving right now. All they have is racism and poverty. Like I always say, that's all they have. Racism and poverty. They come here, spout a few lines, and they can't even string a sentence together to communicate with me. They run away. They run away and they stay in the comment section. Shut the fuck up. Come up, Uncle Eric. Let's hear you in your voice and all the intelligence that you have in your brain, Uncle Eric. I want all the Neanderthals to come up to panel because you know what? I invite all of you. I click every single person to come to the panel and have a conversation. I click you all, and guess who are the biggest, weakest people on here? White men. They are the weakest on here. They can't, first of all, hold their tongue and wait for a conversation. And then all they do is go, you're the low IQ one. You don't even hear yourselves because you are narcissists and sociopaths. You don't have the ability to hear yourself, but we hear you, and it's excellent. Right, we've got Inuit, not into it, please. How are you today? Oh, sorry, I did it at the same time. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Sorry, I pressed your mute at the same time, Inuit. Do you want to unmute, please?
Yeah, so thank you for having me in. And
problem.
you are doing incredible work,
Thank you.
bringing anti-energy into this, and proud of you. We have, and it is a huge, there is no more dangerous statistic than especially the American white male. They assault at higher rates, they kidnap at higher rates, they traffic at higher rates. They are living on stolen land built by stolen people with generational entitlement, creating more generational trauma. And the problem with when you try to talk about the deconstruction of it all, and to actually deconstruct would be to have them admit that they are actively pursuing control of mind, bodies, land, culture, tokenizing women of color, tokenizing indigenous women, meanwhile, by unaliving the planet. And, you know, there is no, you can't even touch on the infantile egomania that runs in this. It's beyond Neanderthal, because Neanderthals had a purpose, you know, make fire, hunt, ugga booga. These guys are just infantile egomaniacs, like looking to grape the planet. So, you know, I land my plane there. Thank you for all you're doing. I'll hop down in my comments.
Thank you, Inuit. Exactly. This is what we're trying to discuss, though, right? It is the world. That's what I mean when I say the world. It is not just humans. It is not just humanity. It is animals. It is plants. It is all the resources, everything that lives on this globe. White men have touched and destroyed. They have done it. They have done it. They have done it. Civilization is 300,000 years old, but these people, and I'm glad you said that, this Neanderthal is a different version. It's a different level. That they, through their biggest Neanderthals, right, their 1%, they've started to follow trend. Like that first person who came up, like I said, they don't have the ability to have their own mind. They just then follow the previous man. They get upset when we break the programming and we have our actually own critical thinking skills. We are able to see the world exactly for what it is. We don't follow their program. We follow our own program, because guess why? We are connected to the land, the sea, the earth, the sky. We are the ones. They're not. They're an anomaly. And so they're just NPCs and drones and just following what other white men do. And that's how the problem exacerbates. And it becomes white men, not white man, white men. That's why the prompt is as it is. And they're proving my point every single time. We'd love to see more white men not be the problem. We would love to see it. But look in the comment section now. They're doing the same thing. They cannot see it. No, so 1 minute, Brennan. So please, everybody who's on the panel right now, please mute up and don't interrupt. I will call you one at a time. So you've got other people beforehand. So we've got Americanoid first, then Inti, then Tony, then you, Brennan, then Amos Moose. And if you do unmute and interrupt, thank you, Brennan, for your apology. Appreciated. If anybody unmutes and interrupts, they will be dropped from the panel. Okay, so please do take your time and have patience. Sometimes it might take a long time. So if you don't want to wait, then of course you're more than welcome to jump back into the comment section. Right, we've got Americanoid now, please. Americanoid, this is the question today. Do you think white men will see that they are the world's problem? Do you think that they will see it?
Probably not. I mean, I don't think so.
Why don't you think they'll see?
Well, I mean, I guess like if you were to look at like what a problem would be, like might be subjective. Like some people might think that some things are more important than other things, or like
what? Can you give some examples?
Well, like, so the world's problem, like bringing problems to the world. And then some people might think like pollution might be the number one problem, whereas some people might think like SA might be the number one problem, or something like that.
Okay. So who created pollution?
I don't know.
Which group of people? I can tell you. Should I tell you? Yes, capitalism.
No, capitalism. I'm pretty sure pollution existed before capitalism. Like, you can totally disrupt the ecosystem.
No, no, it did not.
Absolutely.
No, it did not. No, it did not. It did not exist beforehand. Capitalism was pushed through the Industrial Revolution, right? And then that's when it
Yes.
became factory, right? Factory and things like, which was born in Britain.
I mean, you could
A
totally
Scottish man
decimate
called
an
Adam Smith,
ecosystem before the industrial.
no, you're making up stuff. You're making up stuff now.
The species
You're
have
making
gone
up
extinct
stuff because
before.
you don't. You're making up things because you want to feel better about the subject matter. It actually didn't happen, right? I'm telling you facts now. Everybody is very aware of the Industrial Revolution. I know you are
course,
too. I'm
yeah.
also very aware that you know what capitalism is also. Capitalism was born in Britain by a Scottish man called Adam Smith, right? And when they needed to replace the transatlantic slave trade because of all the revolutions and uprisings, that's when they took everything that they'd stole from Asia through 200 years of raping and pillaging the land there and taking their capital, reducing their GDP significantly, right? And bringing everything back to the UK and then to the Americas to then create what? Factories. Factories, which actually did not have a place in the world before the 1800s. Didn't have a place in the world, okay? And so then, because everything was... So there was literally an event in Britain called the Great Stink. Are you aware of this? It was called the Great Stink. Do you know about this, Americanoid? You've muted. Where have you gone? Americanoid,
I was letting you finish.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, so there was an event called the Great Stink, which basically was because there was so much crap and being produced that it was getting thrown into the River Thames. And everybody was stinking. It was stinking, until they actually had to come up with a sewerage system, which they did then take from Roman times and realizing, well, how did the Romans get rid of their waste? How did Africans get rid of their waste? That's only when they managed to actually change the systems, because it was so freaking bad. People were dying because the diseases were being spread so much. Someone even came to the panel the other week and told me, educated me, that there are certain parts of London that you can't go to that are underground because they literally were not able to change their own ecosystem and get rid of the pollutants there. Yeah, they were throwing it out the windows. They literally had sayings saying "Gardiloo" to make sure that people were not underneath the buckets of shit that were being thrown out of the window. So that's how bad the white man made the world. It was not like this before. It really wasn't at all. It wasn't. Americanoid, have you got anything to add? Is the stuff that you learned there?
No, yeah, like if you look at like cholera rates or diseases linked to poor hygiene and being around feces, it's definitely higher in non-white countries for sure. Yeah. And you're so saying pollution didn't exist before the inception of the factory?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
It didn't. It didn't. There's natural gases that, of course, existed, natural gases, but not pollutants. Thank you so much, Airborne Ranger. High heel shoes for walking in feces. And we know it was men in the white Western European world that high heels were created for, because they didn't want to put their feet in shit. Yeah. Okay, Americanoid, I think we might be done there. I think you might have learned some few things. Thank you so much for joining. I've dropped you down now. Inti, please. Inti, my darling, are you well today?
Good morning, my beautiful sister. Yes, I've just kind of woken up. Sorry, my cat is having some sort of he's having a protest at the moment because he's not allowed out. So you're probably hearing meowing at the background. I do forgive my cat's behaviour. Shut up! We're not going out today. No, because it's so hot. And yesterday he was out and he refused to come inside, and I could see him panting, and he refused to come in. So I got him in. Yeah, I'm not letting him out today. You naughty boy. Anyway, yes.
No problem.
I actually came up for the American that was before the last American, because I really wanted to give him a piece of my mind. Unfortunately, he's gone. Oh.
You can still talk, like every
I know
everything that's on your chest, Inti. Give it to the people.
I really
give
wanted
it to them.
I really wanted
give it to them.
You know, I really wanted to give
it to them, Inti.
Yeah.
Just do it now. Do it now. The people are still here. Do it now.
Touching on the India trading well, I don't know if you could call it trading in the great steal, let's call it.
Yeah.
You know, there was a minimum of 45 trillion pounds worth of resources stolen. And now it's questionable because new research has found that it could be up to 64 trillion, 64.82 trillion pounds worth of resources. Now, it always what makes me laugh is that they always say that, you know, we were the savages, we are the third world, yet these parasites have lived off of us for centuries. If it wasn't for us, the savages, yeah, where would these parasites be? Because they really have a parasitic nature to them. And then what really grates me is that after they do all that, shut up.
So 1 minute for everybody on the panel right now. Please mute yourself. I'm pretty sure I said that when you were there. 1 minute, Inti. Tatar obviously felt like he needed to do his Neanderthal grunting and wanted everybody to hear his Neanderthal grunting, which I think is so interesting. But like literally everybody mute up. Don't interrupt. Like I said, I will come to you one at a time. Don't speak over someone else because it just shows how disrespectful that you are as a person. So Inti, please carry on.
Yeah, so anyway, so with that being said, you know, then after they steal all our resources and they're living off our resources, they have the audacity to look down their noses at us and call us uneducated, third world, savages, all these type of things, when really and truly there's nobody more savage than them and more barbaric. And when it comes to, there was a comment saying, oh, white people are the kindest to animals. You basically have extincted so many species by going safaring all over the place because you thought it was fun to go around shooting animals and you know, so that you could hang them in your houses and things like that. And then you want to say that you're kind to animals. No, I don't think so.
Do you know what they have? It's that savior complex, right? Isn't it, Inti? It's that savior complex. I see it in a crazy way now. Now that I've left Europe and left the UK for 5 years, when I go back, I see how they are with their own pets, okay? Here where I am, animals are free. Dogs are free, cats are free. People literally look after them, right? If you got one and you see one in the street and you want to get them neutered, you take them, you release them back into the street. That's how it is here. When I go back to the UK and I hear people's dogs barking all day, being cooped up, or you see those angry, aggressive dog owners because they're like, is your dog safe? Is your dog safe? And then you'll have dog owner wars. That shit is so annoying to see. Then I also see on Facebook, oh, so-and-so's dog is barking all day. So-and-so's cat is doing this. Like all they're doing is just talking about animals all day. All day, all day, all day. And
they don't do anything to help though.
No. Like I say, it's this savior complex. And even where I live now, right, they've got some rescue centres which are actually run by English people. And when I went there, I was like, RSPCA, though, I will say, is brilliant in the UK because I've done some work with them. But here, right, I'm like, have you actually worked with the RSPCA? Do you know how it runs? All they're doing, again, is white savior complex. We need to save all the animals. We need to put them in the shelters. Okay, well, do you actually check the homes that the animals are going to? No, they just get rid of the animal, right? Because in the RSPCA, they do checkups. They make sure that you actually are going to be a decent fit for the animal. But here, the English people who are running the centres here don't give a crap at all. I'll tell you a personal story real quick. I had a dog, unfortunately, that was poisoned. So again, Tatar is unable to control himself. His Neanderthal is literally going crazy, so he's been dropped now. I had a dog, unfortunately, that was poisoned. I was taking the dog for a walk in the mountains. There was some poison up there because there was wild animals. My dog ate it, took it down. And I managed to save the dog. But then she developed some really bad behavioural problems after. She had PTSD. She started attacking other animals. I said to the rescue centre, do you know what? I think I need to bring her back. She's really struggling. And she's, like I said, she's attacking other animals. they were like, oh no, you have to keep the animal. There's no refunds. Like, refund? I didn't pay for the dog. You give a voluntary contribution. Then when I went back to the shelter, I said, I need to give her because she's going to be more safer with you than she is out here. Where I live is a farm. If she gets out and she kills some animals here, the farmers will shoot her. She'll die. So I bring her back and they're like, no, you can't bring her back. And we saw what you said online because you were trying to ask for help. But it was all the British shelters that didn't want to help me. None of them wanted to help this animal and wanted to help me. And this is why I know they're not good for animals. It is only in their ego.
Even here in the UK, I will say the RSPCA have been called several times when there's foxes in distress. They don't want to come out. They don't. And you know, they're selective. That's my issue with them, is that they're selective in which animals they help. Now, if you're an animal lover, you love all animals, not just the few that you think, okay, well, we'll just pick these ones because these ones look cute. These ones are a bit smelly, so we're not going to deal with those smelly ones because, you know, as you know, I come from the Inca people. Now, when we're hunting, yes, we ask Mother Nature to forgive us and we thank her for the gift that she has given us. I don't see anybody thinking like that over here. They just, you know, unalive these little animals, and there's no thought for their little souls. They don't seem to understand that these creatures they're living and
So I
they're
was just curious,
Shut
what
up.
did the non-English
Shut up.
shelters say
No
about
one's
it?
talking to you.
you've literally been in the comment section hearing the rules and SFE, so you're being dropped immediately. I've seen you in the comment section. You know the rules.
So
don't come here and interrupt people talking.
My thought is when we talk about animals, we must think about all of them, not just the selective few that you think are cute. All animals have a purpose on this land. So they're all equally important. All of them, even the ones that you might not like. I'm not keen on rats. You know,
I love rats.
I'm not too keen on them because back home they're so big and they do attack. You know, we used to have to keep dogs to get rid of the rats because they were that big. So yeah,
even insects, like everything here, I don't kill anything. not even insects. The only things I do is flies, right? Like flies, I'll get my fly spray out. Even when it comes to spiders and stuff, I don't kill spiders. I'm terrified of them, but I try to move them away.
I try not to, you know, but if it comes up to running towards me, I might just do the rain dance and step on it by accident because I'll be like, I'll be just as mad, and you know, I'll be running around the room. And if I step on it by accident, well, I'm sorry, but
I know, I'm the same. I feel guilty. I say I'm so sorry, but you know what? I felt like you were attacking me, so I attacked you first. But that's funny, isn't it? Because that's when we can talk about the fragility of white man, because that's what they've been. They've been so fragile that they felt they've had to attack the whole entire world because they knew, or not actually they knew because we weren't a threat. They thought that we were a threat. Everything that lived on this land, they thought that we were a threat, even down to the animals. So I'm glad you brought that up as well, Inti. Yeah. Thank you so much, Inti. I'm going to move to the next person. Thank you. Bye. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you. Okay, we've got Amos next, please. Amos, how are you today?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So this is the topic, please. Do you think white men will see that they are the world's problem? What do you think?
I was here before him.
Huh? You were here before white men?
No, I was here before Amos.
How can you be here before me when I'm at the bottom? Does he want to talk first? I can mute, whatever. I don't.
Yeah, I was here before him.
It's up to the host, bro. So whatever the host wants.
I will talk to the host.
It's your show. It's your show.
If you don't mind, Amos, and then the system obviously is very keen to speak. So let's let the system speak. So this is the topic. Do you think white men will see? Right? Can I finish speaking first?
Do
you think that white men will see that they are the world's problem? What do you have to add? The system.
Where are you from?
That's not the question. Look, this is the second person again, guys.
No, I'm asking where you from.
The second person. You see how these guys run?
Oh, you're not from the United States, of course. Yeah. So why do you matter? You're a nobody. I know. So it doesn't matter.
Oh my God, guys.
You're a nobody. So you can keep talking over there in your other country.
Oh my God, guys. Do you hear this?
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
He really felt so important to go next, and then he's saying this. He's doing the same. He's doing the same Neanderthal behavior, asking where I'm from again. This is what they
because
always
you won't
do.
Say it.
And then this is. Do
I'm
you
not
think
a pussy.
white men see?
I'm from the United States, and you're a pussy, and you won't say where you're from. That's how pussy you are. You're too scared to even say where you're from. A state.
You're too afraid to actually answer the prompt, sir.
But see,
so it says, do you think white men will see they are the world's problem? It doesn't say anything about me up there. Do you see?
You're the host.
Do you think white men will see that they are the world's problem? Can you answer can you read? Can you read that out for us, please?
I've already read it. That's why I came up in here.
So read it out for us, please, because I'm speaking but you're not hearing me. So read that, please. Read it out loud, please.
You're too scared to even say where you're from.
Read it out loud, please. Well, you're too scared to answer. You're too scared to answer the prompt, sir. You're too scared to answer the goddamn prompt. You're too scared to answer the prompt because you know you're the problem.
You're nobody.
You're deflecting from the topic because you're afraid.
You're nobody.
Boy, the universe has already punished you with a bald head. You've got no hair on the top of your head. You've got no hair on the top of your head. The universe has already punished you first by first of all taking you away from Germany, right? It's already taking you from your motherland. You're not indigenous to America, first of all. You've already been taken away. You've already been taken away from your people. You don't even know where the hell that you're from. You're a Neanderthal from Europe. And you're trying to say that you're from America, right? First of all, you're not even from there. You're not from there. Your own history line has been completely erased, that you don't know where you came from. And you can't even read the prompt. And you're like trying to say that I'm a nobody. I know where the hell I come from. I know where I live now, which is what? Away from you, Neanderthals. I moved away from Neanderthals because I can't deal with this kind of stupidity in my everyday life. We are literally having white men like this online. We know exactly what they're like in real life. I actually dropped that person because they're obviously not able to listen and actually understand the prompt. I dropped them. He didn't leave, this one. But you see, most of them, it is just the same script over and over and over again. They say, oh, words shouldn't hurt you guys. Black people, why are you getting upset by words? Why? This is just the prompt today, guys. Who's got the biggest snowflake behavior on this planet? Who? You see who. Right, Amos, now you can have your turn because, of course, that person felt like they were more important than you in his white man's mind. But what do you have to say now? You see your colleague?
I will answer. If you want me to answer the prompt to start, I'll respect that. Do I think white men will see they are the world's problem? No, I don't think it's going to happen like that. I think that you're grouping everybody together. White men, and you're still calling yourself black because of a white man. So,
oh my God, Amos, you said the same thing yesterday.
No, wait a minute.
Have you got anything new to add? Amos,
I do. But listen,
the exact same point yesterday. Have you got something new to add?
I'm just answering the prompt.
I let you. You're not answering the prompt by saying the same thing again. Like I said, you guys are in a program. Have you got something new to add?
Yeah, I have a lot of new things to say. Listen, if this conversation
Let's hear these new things.
Yes, if this conversation gets triggering, you can tap out at any time. I allow you to because you're weak in debating. And that's fine. You're the weaker sex. No, you're the weaker sex.
Oh, God. Can you answer the prompt, please?
Mentally and physically, we are here to protect. Wait.
Guys.
We're here to protect you. Okay? Like Robert like Robert Carter
This guy's
III
saying he's a pretender.
in
He's a pretender.
1791 who freed 500 black slaves.
Guys.
Okay, a great
Amos,
white man
Amos,
in
can you read?
1791.
Amos. So Amos, you said that race
Oh my
isn't.
gosh.
You said that nobody should yesterday, and you're saying the same thing again, right? Is that
No, I'm not.
Race is something.
You're not
Yes,
listening.
you are. You're saying the same thing.
Use your
right?
frontal
Amos,
lobe,
you
Kamala.
said, Amos, what you said yesterday was that if anybody subscribes to the racial construct, that they're basically going to be a slave to white men. But you literally are talking about white men now. Like I said, you are also, because you're talking about white men, you're talking about the construct of white men. And like I always say, is that even you as a white man are on the system as well.
I
Because
agree
the men
with you.
before you,
I agree with you.
So bigger men before you, more men before you told you exactly what kind of man that you're supposed to be.
So I shouldn't be calling myself a white man. You should not be calling
what you
yourself a
said.
black woman. And I
That's
agree
what
with
you
that.
said.
My
That's
point
what you
yesterday before
said.
you got triggered was you didn't
can't
agree
project
with
onto
me.
You can't project onto me, sir. You can't project onto me. This is the thing. You cannot project onto me. I have no problem with using these terms and using these systems so we all understand what page we're on. I have no problem with it. At all. But the prompt here is, though, like you keep deflecting, is do you think white men will see they are the world's problem? Do you think that?
No, the entirety of white men will never be the problem in society. Okay.
Why?
Because
history has shown otherwise.
Because white men,
otherwise.
per capita, white men are 12 times more likely to be unalived by black men.
That's
okay?
actually bullshit, right? Let's go to a video that I created yesterday, guys. I am going to prove it right now. You can watch in the comment section, okay? So on this note, let's talk about black on white crime and white on white crime, because you guys love these facts and statistics. So let me go here real quickly. This is my account, okay? And this is my account. And for some reason, you guys love to just make up shit instead of actually being educated, okay? So this is a white people quiz that I've got first of all. Let's watch this.
Which race of people hates white people the most? I'll give you 3 seconds to answer.
Okay, which race of people do you think?
It's other white.
You know it's other white people. Why is that, guys? Why?
White people. World War I and World War II was a massive white-on-white crime where white people were the players and they were also the victims, where millions of white people ended up losing their lives. And even when it comes to colonization, they raped, stole and murdered other white countries too. And look at this list of white-on-white wars. These people can never stop fighting, can they?
And the list goes on. I forgot to add more.
Question 2. Which ethnic group hates white people the most? You have 3 seconds to answer. That would be the English. The English, as part of the United Kingdom, which is still run by the English, have invaded 171 countries, including these white countries. So when white people start crying and say that black and brown people hate them, just remind them that nobody hates white people more than they hate themselves, and not more than the English. So English people, stop being so lazy and just saying that I hate white people, when I have been advocating for the Irish, Welsh, Eastern Europeans and other Europeans longer than you have. I just don't have... I farted.
Yeah, I farted.
I just don't advocate for you.
So that's one video that I've done. I have more, which I will show later. There is nobody on this planet that hates white people more than they hate themselves. And because of that reason, they are the reason why they are then harming the entire world. As you picked up, who is it? It was Jai. Yeah, like I said, I actually missed out a lot of the crimes that they've been doing towards themselves, and I added them in the caption. Okay, there is more from the 1600s back down to the... Is that all of it? Oh, no, sorry. Here we go. I have more that I missed from the actual video because researching it is difficult. Okay, oops. Let's go back here. Okay. So this is more wars. From the Polish, Swedish wars. Down, 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 down to there. Oh, it's disappeared. Let me go back again. Back again. Back again. So like I said, go back here. Right? This is all of the wars you've had with yourself. With yourself. With yourself. And you want to see the other video, because you guys, like you just said, Amos, oh, black people are unaliving us more. Again, here we go. What's happened to the sound? Hold on. This sound, for some reason, why is it not working? Let me do that later. And I've got some technical issues. So, this is the problem, guys. When white people or white Europeans do not look at what they do in themselves, they're too busy deflecting, too busy saying that everybody else is the problem. And the thing is, I come with facts and statistics, whereas these people come with emotion. They come with Neanderthal emotion, like Amos has done. He's just repeated the same things of what he's repeated yesterday. Okay, so now the video is ready. I can show you, okay? So they tried to say that black people are worse. No. History and facts do not show that, okay? So this is black crime versus white crime.
Black people and white people, which race of people has killed more of their own people? I'll give you 3 seconds to answer. The answer, you guessed it, is white people. When we look at black wars, between 9 and 17 million black people have been killed. But when you look at white on white wars, there's between 89 and 131 million white people killed. And I can't even fit them all in this video. And that is some fucked up shit. Question 2. Have white people killed more black people, or have more black people killed more white people? I'll give you 3 seconds to answer. You guessed it again, more white people have killed more black people. The transatlantic slave trade was recently voted by the UN as the biggest human atrocity on this planet. Between 36,000 and 51,000 white people have been killed by black people, and that's only because of ocean passage, labour, and black people fighting for their freedoms through revolution. Whereas between 7.5 and 13 million black people have been killed by white people in between the transatlantic slave trade, wars, and genocide. So it's very clear, guys, white on white crime and black on black crime doesn't hold the same weight. And white on black crime and black on white crime doesn't hold the same weight either. Some would say these people are crazy. And others like me would say that they are the savages and that they are the uncivilized. That's it, white people. You can't mess with us anymore. We see you. You're done. You're finished. No more for you. The sun is getting hotter. Go crisp up. And right now, you can say goodbye. Never to return.
That's it, white people. Yep. See, like I said, I run in facts. I don't run in feelings. That's how it works round here, round my parts. Oh, black people are killing more white people. That's what you want to tell yourself. Because you can't accept that you do it to yourselves and everybody else. So you have to lie. Lying is what you do. No. Okay, now we've got stop hating people next, please. Stop. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
No problem. So this is the topic today. Do you think white men will see that they are the world's problem? What do you have to add, please?
No, I don't think that the white man.
Can we? Thank you.
Yes.
I think that, I mean, you bring up, I said no to answer the prompt, but you think, you brought up wars and so forth, and sometimes they are necessary, like Schmittler. We shouldn't allow him to take over the world, right? But,
interesting, another white man. Yeah, another white man.
So sometimes We have to. Yeah, he is. You're right. Shamefully so. But sometimes wars are inevitable because of things like that. So they just happen. But what I disagree with would be genocide. And what do you think about Rwanda and genocide? And I don't see many white people in that. What's
so
your viewpoint?
interesting. Yes, isn't that so interesting? That is literally like they've almost kept it to themselves.
Can't match our flow.
They actually kept it to themselves. Do you not see that? Stop hating. It's actually to themselves.
Millions of innocent women and children
Yeah,
just
to
being
themselves.
slaughtered by
It's
machetes.
to themselves. It's terrible. But we're talking about the world problem, which is white men who are genociding themselves and everybody else. Stop hating themselves and everybody else.
So you're saying it's
They've
okay to
genocided
do it
other
as long
white
as
men
you're
and other
doing it to
white women.
yourselves?
Listen, you hear this, guys? You hear this cognitive dissonance, guys, in the comment section.
So you're saying it's okay to do it?
Do you hear what they say? They cannot have a conversation. You see, they always need some kind of justification. They'll always say, so it's okay if nobody said that. You hear? They actually jump to the next point of the conversation, right? They're not understanding the conversation.
Do it themselves. I'm just trying to feed off your
exactly.
words.
Exactly. So white men do it to themselves and they do it to everybody. This is why it is the subject. They are the world's problem. The world's problem. Can you read the prompt, please? So read it out, please. Read it out, please. So everybody who's new to the panel, please do not interrupt. If you interrupt one more time, you will be dropped, okay? We go in order, clearly, one at a time. So please don't, because otherwise you'll be dropped.
I don't know if half the world.
Can you read the prompt out? Can you read the prompt out loudly, please?
To humor you, since you're the host, I will read it out. Do you think white men will see they are the world's problem?
So what's the key word here? What's the key word? The key word.
The world's problem is what you're thinking.
Yes,
but you're dismissing.
It is not
genocide.
It is not,
you don't see genocide.
Stop hating. Listen. That does not say, do you
That's
think
millions of families
that
didn't get the chance to be born.
Stop hating. You literally are trying to do this whole straw man shit, right? You're trying to do it. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, the fact that you're so not willing to see that this is the topic we're talking about here. We're not talking about problems that are happening in Africa, because otherwise I would put that as a prompt. On Saturdays, Saturdays, I talk about specifically things that are happening in Africa, particularly things that are happening in the Black diaspora. That is a Saturday topic. So if you want to come and hear us talking about the genocides in Congo and Rwanda, you're more than welcome to come and listen to us speak about it on Saturday. But this is what we're talking about today. Today, do you think that white men will see they are the world's problem? This is the topic today. And if you cannot stick to the topic, then I will move to the next person. Otherwise, come back on Saturday.
I guess in your viewpoint, I cannot.
Cannot what?
You're saying that I'm not sticking to the topic. I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree.
You're clearly not, because you went to Africa. You went to a whole freaking continent away.
I'm talking about millions of people in genocide. I'm talking about.
Oh my God! Listen to this. Listen to this person. Yeah, total cuck. Again, repeating the white man's propaganda. We have to go all the way to Africa, guys. We have to go to Africa. Exactly. Thank you, Sammy. He can't admit the prompt is right. Like I said, if he wants to come and talk about that, he can do on Saturday. It is not the topic we're talking about today. Right, we've got full stop next. Please, Dot.
Yes. Thanks for having me. Hi. Thanks for having me. Looks nice and sunny where you are.
It is very sunny. It's beautiful. I love living where I live now, because mostly I'm not around Neanderthals. That's the main reason.
I'm in the Midlands. The heat is killing us over here. Absolutely killing us.
Unfortunately, that's the British curse of people. We were talking about this yesterday. People don't know and understand. Spiritual stuff is happening. And guess where that weather is? Western Europe, around Britain. It is literally the karma that's coming back. So
the world is energy. The world is energy. I'll need it. But yes, to your prompt. The thing is, I don't think white men will ever see they're the world's problem. For them to see, we have to make them see. You know, you don't get given your freedom. You take your freedom. You know, so I'm getting on now. I'm turning 41 in a couple of weeks, so I have realized that.
What do you mean getting on? What do you mean getting on? I'm 42.
Like,
I would never say that about
80s babies,
myself.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Getting on. You still got many years to. We've still got
Amen.
many years to go. We are still young here.
Amen. So I claim that. Thank you. But yeah, so I realized that they talk this way because they committed so many crimes and they were never brought to justice.
Yes.
So they committed all these crimes all over the world, millions of crimes over hundreds of years, and they completely got away with it. Not only have they gotten away with it, we, the people that they committed the crime, we, the victims of their crimes, we interbreed with them. We want to be accepted by them. We want to have kids with them. We want to assimilate into their societies. We dress like them, walk like them, talk like them. Our education systems, our banking systems, our every system we are built. We mirror them. So how can they see that they're the problem? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they will only see. It's like, so it makes me laugh when whitey people, or let's just call them what they are, genetic mutants, because that's literally what they are. You know what I mean? I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. You are literally a genetic mutation. That's why you don't have any melanin. You know what I mean? So, and that's why you have blue eyes or green eyes. That's a topic for another day.
I'm just going to correct you there because we literally birthed every race. The Eve gene,
Yes.
we literally
Yes.
so we actually did have the ability to have blue and green eyes as well.
Yes.
So I just want to correct you there.
But everyone who has blue eyes is related. Actually, they can trace their lineage back to one ancestor.
I'm not sure if that's true.
yeah,
You literally have the
do
Melanesians.
research.
Melanesians have black, dark skin and blue eyes.
Yes, you're talking about like the Solomon Island people.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. So when I talk to, because I have a neighbor, David, Sebastian, he's English, but he was born and raised in Botswana, which is Southern Africa. And, the way he and his ilk look at the world, just the way, I use him as a template to see the world the way they see it, and I realized when they talk about us, people from the global south or melanated people, when they complain about us talking about their crimes or talking about what they've done all over the world, they don't realize that it's akin to Jewish people. I don't know if you can say that here. It's like Jewish people talking about, the Austrian painters people, because that's what these people are. Like, you are literally, I don't know if you can say Nazi. Can you say that on this app? I don't know, but they are literally the Nazis of the world. Literally. But unlike the Nazis, face justice. So you don't see Germans running around talking about Jewish people the way these people run around talking about us. They only run around talking that way about us because they've never been brought to justice.
Very true. In Germany, especially for those people who are aware, the education system is so good for German people and German kids. And even if you go there on a tour, go to Berlin, they will literally tell you everything that's happened truthfully. They won't over-glorify it. They won't over-sensationalize it. You see when the far right has been trying to move, there were massive anti-parties, like huge parties, huge protests that happened in Germany because they said never again. Never again.
Exactly. But then you have there was an American, the American man who was very rude to you a couple of
Which one? There's many.
The Baldy. He, Americans or Europeans outside Europe don't realize that all Europeans were stuck in Europe 500 years ago. The only reason why there are Europeans on every other continent now was because of a series of G-sides. They have literally gone all over the world, unalived millions and millions, billions of people. They graped so many people, they created entirely new racial categories.
Yes.
Right. So when you come over here and these whitey people talk about Asian grooming gangs, I just laugh. When they talk about, these migrants and how, we need to save our women and children, the cognitive dissonance is absolutely mind blowing. But then you can't blame them because it's by design. The education system is designed to have them thinking this way.
Yes.
Well, when the British, my parents are Nigerian, so when the British left Nigeria, it's a known fact that they threw loads of documents into the Atlantic Ocean.
They did, yeah.
And they did that all over the world, you know what I mean? So they've hidden their crimes, or they think they've hidden their crimes, you know what I mean? But they really haven't. So these whitey people really don't know the evil they've done all over the world. They don't know what they've done to us. And now evil, trauma, it passes through the DNA. Yeah. DNA is not just looks. DNA is not just looks, right? It's not just behavioral patterns. It's trauma. It's being afraid or being angered by things you don't even know. Why am I reacting this way to this particular phenomenon?
Yes,
that's your DNA.
You've picked up a perfect point, and this is what we talk about a lot, is literally the DNA, the historical story that lives within us as imprints. And that's why when we come to the earth, we come with the story already. And regardless of what they do, how much documents they throw into the sea and how many libraries they burn, they'll never be able to get rid of us, because energy is infinite. I myself, I'm barely read. I'm barely read, right? But in the last 2 years, the universe has said, Fox, you need to look at this. Go here, go here. I will lead you to that information. And just awakening what's already living inside me and my parents' generation and my grandparents, etc., etc., etc. So it can never be killed, because that's what they knew. That's why they tried to genocide us many times and tried to see, and they tried to say that we are the threat by coming up here with fake statistics. Oh, you're not doing this. We ain't doing shit. We are not doing anything. And like you tried to say, he had to go all the way. He had to go all the way to. He had to go all the way to Congo and Rwanda to prove a point. Yeah, over there. You had to go over there to try and prove some kind of point. We're not getting ourselves involved with you Caucasians. We're not getting ourselves with you people at all. Not at all. You have to think that in your mind, because you know that the universe is coming for you, because we ain't coming for you. We're not going to. We're not like you. The universe is coming for you. The sun is coming for you. The ground is swallowing you up. The seas are coming. There's going to be more tsunamis in the United States of America. The tsunamis are coming. The stars are moving. Everything is shifting to get rid of these people, because they have not shown that they are going to be for the people. They are not for the global majority. They do not belong here. And you can see it every single time. Everybody who comes here to my panel, I call them out every time. What they're doing, they're just grunting and growing, saying racist shit, because that's all they have. Nothing. They got nothing, and they're resting on their ancestors that came beforehand. They got nothing.
They are the children of their ancestors.
Yes, they are the children. I always say that they are narcissists and sociopaths born by psychopaths. That's all we are left with. We're only left with them. That's all we're left with. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate the conversation. I'm glad you're clued up. Please come by as well on Saturday. I have a black conversation, 9 a.m. GMT, where I'm trying to unite more of us together in the diaspora, Caribbeans, Africans, black people. It is literally the black conversation. So it'd be good to see you tomorrow.
Say no more, sis. In the like swimwear.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Thank you. Right. Okay. We've got now Radio again. Radio, how are you? Radio number 1. Hello, I've sent you an invitation, Radio. Radio, where have you gone? You've been here this whole time. Okay, we're going to move to RC in the meantime, please. RC, how are you?
Hello.
Hello there, are you well?
I am. Are you?
Good. I'm very well, thank you for asking. So this is the topic today. Do you think white men will see that they them? What do you think?
Well, they're not the world's problem. It's a loaded question, because if I say yes to that, then I'm conceding. If I say no to that, then it's still conceding yes. It's like me saying,
it's a battle? Why do you think it's a battle?
It's like if I asked you if your parents know that you murdered someone, no matter how you answer that, the answer is still yes.
No, because you can separate yourself from the subject matter. If you've done enough psychological evolution, then you would be able to actually see this and separate yourself from that and say, do you know what? Yeah, they are a problem, but I'm going to be different. That's the whole point. If you're a white man and you come up here with seeing the prompt and feeling personally attacked, then you just need to figure out why you feel personally attacked.
No, I think that they're the solution. They're not the problem.
Solution to what?
The world's problems. We invent, we colonize, we
Oh my
conquer,
God, guys.
we
Oh my
create.
God, guys. Oh my God, guys. Did you just hear that? He said that they're the solution to the problem, even though they created the
Yes.
problem.
We fix
No,
problems.
no. What was broken beforehand that you think you needed to fix?
There was no internet, there was no electricity, there was no air conditioning. You guys were living in huts. We created civilization.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He thought the world could not function. The internet only came about, what, like 20 years ago? No, was it 30 years ago? I remember it coming in at school.
Yep. And
Right?
now
So
you're
he
using it.
thinks that hundreds of thousands of years beforehand, that the world was just really just not functioning. So when we were kids, how old are you, RC?
30.
RC, you're 30. So you've grown up with a lot of internet. So you don't know what life was like before the internet, pretty much. You don't know what we were doing. I'm 42. I'm 12 years older than you. What do you think that your parents were doing before the internet?
They were doing whatever people did before the internet. The internet helped
Jesus
things, though.
Christ. This is scary as hell, guys.
They were going
This
to
is scary as
libraries.
hell.
They were probably reading more.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Reading more, filling their mind actually of real information. Not a lot of the fake stuff that we do find on the internet. Like, it's crazy. But the fact of the matter is that you as a white man in America, it is very scary that we're living in a world where you're not even willing to unpack the propaganda that you've even received yourself in this. That you think that technology, you said that there was no electricity as well before. You said that there was no electricity. This is what happens when you don't take it upon yourself to, what? Educate yourself.
White people
Energy was
created
already-
concentrated electricity to power things like lights. That was us.
There
We did
were
that.
there were already lights and things like that already existing in the Benin Kingdom. And guess what happened? The British came and burned it all down. Any sort of technology that we already had beforehand was burnt by the Europeans. We already had street lamps. We already were
That's
lighting
your version of
our
history, I
cities.
guess.
My version. Well, can't I challenge your version?
I don't
If you
know.
think mine,
Black
if
people
you
were
think,
living
if
in
you
huts
think,
in Africa.
oh,
They were in
you see,
huts.
guys,
That's
he's doing
true.
it again.
Why weren't they as advanced as the Europeans?
Guys, again, like I always try to highlight, when they start doing this copy and paste stuff, the Neanderthal, all they can do is say, Africans live in mud huts.
Well, because I'm white
how
and
many
you're
times?
black.
How many times? See,
So I'm
look,
going to
he's
talk about
reverting to
black
race
people
now.
because you're black.
Guys, do you hear that now? They can't stop it. It is an addiction.
You're talking about race.
No, I talked about Africa, actually. I didn't talk about
Do
race.
you think
I
white
said,
men? You're talking about race.
yeah, I said, do you think white men? No, but you did. And then you started to talk about black people. And then you went straight to mud huts, even though I just tried to say
Why are you
that in
calling
the
us
Benin,
Neanderthals?
in
You
the,
said
in the,
we-
in
you
the,
said we
in the
came from
Benin,
black people.
you did. You were a genetic
So then
mutation,
so that
which
makes
was,
black people more Neanderthals according to your logic.
no,
It means
that's
that
not
we are
actually
more
what happened.
evolved. If we came from you and we evolved past, that's
You hear
that's
this,
your
guys?
logic.
You hear
That's
this,
your
guys?
logic.
Oh my God. No, it's not logic. It's actually science and facts. Science
You're
and
saying that
facts.
white people came from black
Science
people.
facts. No, you were a genetic mutation. You literally came from our crap.
Well, our
you came
genetic
from our
mutation
shit.
made us
You
look
came from
better.
our shit. You came
I
from our
prefer
shit,
blue
right?
eyes
You
and
came from our
blonde
shit,
hair.
and then you were actually in the Caucasus Mountains. That's where the
Okay.
genetic mutation was
I
born.
prefer our genetic
8,000 years ago. Well, the funny thing is, RC, is that only Neanderthals
Even black men
Neanderthals.
prefer our genetic mutation. They prefer white women.
Well, clearly they don't actually. They
And they
don't.
prefer white
and that's not the
neighborhoods?
subject. And that's not the subject matter we're talking about again. So you talk about mud huts, okay? So you also had them as well in Europe, RC. Your houses, though, were made of straw, mud and shit. And also, I have a link here, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
love showing,
Yeah, for
okay?
sure.
I love showing this link. That
We had
because
steel
housing,
swords and you
because,
had
because
wooden
how,
sticks.
because,
We had
because
steel swords and steel armor.
Neanderthal, you have no opinions of your own. You're just repeating white man's propaganda.
She's calling
as
us
you
a
always do.
Neanderthal, and they
So,
spoke like-
you are. You
That-
are.
they
So,
spoke like-
what does this say?
Quick,
Can you
quick.
read? Can you read?
Like, what
RC,
sounds
can you
more
read?
like a Neanderthal?
Can you read, RC? What does this say?
That sounds-
RC, what does this say?
That's kind of
What
how
does this say?
Neanderthals communicate.
What does it say, RC? Can you hear me? Hello?
Right?
So how funny that he has to revert to his own Neanderthal type. I've had to drop him, of course. Okay. So this says new £20,000 mud homes could revolutionise UK housing. The first modern British home using mud has been built as part of a project to construct more energy efficient housing. And when we go down, what does it say here? It says, after the EU announced it was looking for architects to develop new ways of using earth in houses, not new ways from the indigenous peoples, which is where I come from, and which is where a lot of us come from, indigenous peoples, because guess why? We were economic. We actually, like I said, lived off the land, the sea, the sky. We used everything that was naturally on the land, and we managed to adapt to our climates. But who didn't adapt to their climate? White people. And now they're in Britain, and now they've moved throughout Western Europe, and the sun is heating up over them specifically. Over them specifically. They had a chance to integrate and actually, be like the rest of us, but they didn't evolve. And clearly RC is very behind in his evolution. Very far behind. How he thinks that that's an insult to talk about how people speak in different languages. Everybody has many different ways of communicating with each other, but how interesting that RC and I was both speaking English, okay? We were both speaking English, and yet he didn't interact with a single thing that I said. He was not hearing anything that I said. RC now is still clicking and clacking in the comment section because he can't communicate. I'm just going to restart the live, guys, okay? Please do come back. I'm going to restart the live. So everybody on the panel, please come back because we've just been restricted. Please come back, okay? I'm going to restart it. Thank you. I'm going to restart it. Thank you. Okay, we're back again. We are back again. Let's keep this conversation going, guys. Like I say, when the Neanderthal gets to the end of their evolution, all they start to do is think that they can just take the piss out of the rest of the world. And he thinks that his behavior was normal. He thinks that that was not problematic, the things that he was saying and doing. That is the end of the evolution of the white man we are seeing. We're seeing them implode. We're seeing them explode on themselves. He could not even have a conversation with me sat here right now. And even yesterday, when I was talking to one gentleman on the panel, right, that's all they do, right? They tried to say, oh, Africans are this, Africans are that. And we got into a one-on-one. I showed him my house that I lived in, right? Everything I have around me. And he's like, nice hotel. And I was thinking, actually, I should have told him, that was a lovely compliment that he said. Thank you so much, newbie. That he thinks that my property is so abundant and so beautiful. It's like a hotel. But what happens, what the white man is doing is literally saying that they are not able to see the truth. And while they are not actually being able to see themselves as well and everything that they have not been able to achieve for themselves. Okay, I'm just going to let everybody come back up again. Everybody is coming back. So here we are. Okay, so Liam, please. Liam, what would you like to add to the conversation? Do you think white men will see that they are the world's problem? This is my question of the day.
Before I answer the prompt...
No, answer the prompt first, please. Can you answer it first and then you can continue?
I came up here to invite you to an event.
No.
To an event.
No, please, can you answer
Have you heard of Jubilee?
First?
Have you heard of Jubilee?
Can you answer the prompt first?
Sure, white men are the problem.
Yes.
But I'm with an organization that does professional debates.
Oh my God, Liam, I don't give a fuck. Literally, you're dropped. I don't give a shit. Answer the goddamn prompt. Answer the prompt. Don't come here promoting something. I'm very aware of what Jubilee is. I'm very aware. But this is the prompt today. If you don't even have the ability, right, to even read a prompt on the screen and you're talking about Jubilee, what makes you think I want to come to your platform? What makes you think I actually want to go there? If that's how you're talking to me in my space here, what makes you think I'm going to go to that space over there? It's not going to bloody happen. Mikey, how are you today? Mikey.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you're there. How are you, darling? You all right?
Glad to be here. Glad it's, yeah. I'm just going to shout out for the people from East Midlands, West Midlands. Wow, I've just watched this, listened to this program, and the violence and the passive aggressive violence, so surprised. Well, not surprising. It was on the cards. You could see it. I'm so glad you presented this show. And to ask this question, are they the world's problem? Well, if you look at their ability to have amnesia, and then the amnesia is rewarded with money and rights and land, wherever you move, you from England to the Caribbean to Africa or to the Americas. So any pain they had, or the names that they had or were taken away from them, was relieved with money. Again, made and given to their ancestors now. So their ancestors have got the money and they carry on the baton. So now you've come to knock at their door to say, look, are they the problem? Well, obviously they are the problem, and they've still got the baton in the hand. There's nothing other way. Basically you've just, you've just put the crown on the head. It is, in a way, the guys who spoke first. The Nigerian guy who was absolutely brilliant, who spoke earlier on. Credit to him, credit to his mama. You know what I mean? Because as well, I noticed in the way is white men and this, that, and that. And I know that black women have helped me and helped my people and brought us along the way. And they hid messages in their hair. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They had the food in their hair. They traveled us. They fed us. They kept the knowledge going. They took a lot. They took a lot of pain. Yeah. They took a lot of pain. And then to have these people who can't even see that. We've made videos, we've done books. Why are we still trying to tell the people who inflicted the pain, you're still causing pain? It's nothing going to change.
Nothing's going to change. Exactly. It is up to us to build our resilience. This is the whole point. And it's to remember and to awaken people where the problem is, because people have not remembered because of the brainwashing that, of course, that exists in our cultures. When we move to the Western world, like that person said earlier about the adaptation, about the assimilation, all of those things, it removes our memories, right?
Yes.
And that's why when we wake up, and that's why we have platforms like this is why we have conversations like this, to remember, to teach people and to tell people not to forget, and to waken them. And I know some of them are very much still in a deep sleep.
Can I ask the audience, have they heard of an
You can't even say what you want in your country.
Ethan, don't interrupt. So please, just 1 minute, Mikey. Everybody who's new on the panel here, if you've never been to my live before, please mute up and don't interrupt. Otherwise, you will get dropped, okay? We don't interrupt each other here. This is a very civilized space, or at least it tried to be. So we just wait our turn, and I will call you when it's your turn to speak. Okay, Mikey, please continue.
I hope everybody can get some information. A guy called Henry Mayhew, and he wrote a book about England in the 1800s and how the life expectancy, what the people would be crawling in rags along the street, and people think, what's that? It's just rags. It wasn't. It was a person. She was like 23, 24, no teeth in her head, hair thinning, terrible, basically getting ready to die. And it went from that to the workhouse. If they probably survived that living on the streets in the snow and the cold, and this is in the 1800s.
Yeah.
The only reason why they started giving them the Labour Act and the children out of employment is because they were getting ready for the World War I. So everything they've done that I can see has a death component in it, and nothing's going to change.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I agree. This is it. And this is why they don't want to look at history. Their own history is too painful. But those of us here, we've actually been educated. We're going back. Like I'm going right back. I'm like in 1500s now in everything that I've been learning to understand everything that they've done throughout the rest of the world. I'm just going to mute you for a second, Mikey, because you've got some background noise there that is like feeding back off your microphone, I think. Is that I'm going back to understand exactly what they did to our motherland, right? right? You know, and on my platform, those people here know that I talk about homophobia, I talk about disabilities, I talk about capitalism, I talk about religion, I talk about all these things that the Europeans brought to our lands and the ways that they manipulated us by their own inventions. These are the things that they don't even want to claim that they did, right? They don't want to claim that they invented things like concentration camps and lynching and all these different ways to torture people. They don't want to actually accept that they did this, and the spreading of diseases. They don't want to admit any of these things, but you have some idiots come here and say, well, what about the internet? Like, life existed before the internet, actually. We were living quite fine without the internet. If that's the only thing that you actually have as a flag in your cap, then honestly, you're not really seeing the world for what it actually was. Thank you, Mikey. I'm going to move to the next person now, Mikey. Have you got any more points that you want to add before I continue on? Mikey? You got any last points you want to add? And I'm going to move to the next person. Yeah, I'm going to move to the next person. Do you want anything to add before I go?
I just want people to study more British history, not as to say that we're colonialising it, it's to uncolonialise.
That's right. We're decolonising. That's it. A lot of us here are on the decolonial journey. So that's why we're going back in history to realise what exactly has happened in the world and why there are so many problems. Because you have to be able to go back to be able to go forward. This is very important.
To get a better understanding of even the people you're talking to. That they're okay. They said their dad did it, but their dad original name was Cole. He never had the first name. He worked in the mines. His name was Cole. Why? Because he never had a name. We just called him Cole. And now he's David Cole now. Do you know what I mean? He never had a name. What's his name? I just call him Cole. That's his name. The funny thing is, I've met Dave. I think, was it David Cole I met in real life? Is it him? Yeah, and he's the goalkeeper, right? Yeah, he's the goalkeeper. No, I'm just going on about the characters of the
I know,
person
but
who worked in the mines.
I've just gone to another. I know, but I've just got hold on. Is someone recording the live? There's like serious to crazy feedback there. But David Cole was a goalkeeper, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
but I want to.
I know who you're going on about, but I'm just deflecting for a minute. I was on a first class business flight back from I can't remember where, and I ended up sitting next to David Cole. Let me tell you something. That guy is so beautiful in real life. It floored me. He actually dropped his passport on the floor, and I picked it up because I didn't even realise I was sitting next to him. I picked it up, and I said, "Oh, you dropped your passport on the floor," and I gave it to him, and I was like, that's David Cole, man. He is beautiful. Honestly, he was beautiful.
Probably a lot of the people never had a name or something like that. So you can see then the names came up from like.
Thank you. You made the point. I'm going to move to the next person now. Thank you, Mikey.
Bless up people. Love and guidance every time.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, now we've got Shand, please. Am I saying that right? Shand?
It's Shaned.
Shaned, sorry. Shaned, how are you?
I'm okay, how are you?
I'm good. You've got a lot of background noise, Shaned. Could you turn off the background, or is it a television in the background?
No, there was another guy who has an open mic. I think you need to tell him to switch it off.
Someone's playing something. I'm going to disconnect. Yeah, it's the other person. Thank you for that. I just had to drop Virgo because you've got your TV on in the background and we couldn't hear. Shaned, please continue. So this is, do you think white men will see they're the world's problem?
No, I don't think that will happen. I don't. I have watched your video for the first time, the one that you showed us on the screen, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. I've never bumped into something like that on the internet when someone is trying to give people a picture that we never saw. And I was like, oh my God, this is so genius, because look at what is happening in the world. These guys started the war. They started everything. And after they got tired of fighting themselves, they didn't have anything left. Everything was destroyed. And they were like, okay, there is a certain continent that is living in peace and in harmony. We gotta go. We gotta go and we gotta go and take some. We need to rebuild this nation. We need to rebuild everything that we have destroyed. And what did they do? They came to us and manipulated us, did what they did, slavery, raping people, unaliving people, and with their inventions that they are saying that they invented
Ethan is a Neanderthal that can't control himself. He's been dropped from the panel. How many white men have we actually dropped from the panel so far today? I think it's like 5, is it? That literally interrupt, can't wait their turn. I specifically say what the rules are. They interrupt other people talking. You know, they just expose themselves for who they are. Sorry about that, Shannon. You know, when we're dealing with the Neanderthal, they find it really difficult to keep themselves just until it's their turn. Do you want to continue, please?
Yes. And after that, there was a guy who was saying, oh, we invented stuff. Bro, if you invented stuff and you came to attack us, and at some point, yes, you won, you took our stuff, you did what you guys did. But at the end of it, we avenged. We were using our own freaking tools that we did not ask for you to bring. We invented everything that we had. We took it and we fight back. Okay.
And remember as well, they had to keep coming back. Every time they came the first time to try and fight us, they lost every time. So they had to do what? Invent the gun.
Yes.
Because they were losing hand-to-hand combat. They always lost. In every indigenous land, they always lost.
Yes.
So they had to find new, more technologically advanced, which actually made them more Neanderthal. And on that note, I'm going to pick up something. I'm glad that you brought this up, right? Somebody on that video that I put about the black versus white crimes, okay? Somebody put this comment on my page. Listen to exactly how the Neanderthal speaks. They said, you mean to tell me that the race that invented the gun, tank, airplane, artillery, and atom bomb has killed more of their own people than a race that invented nothing? I am shocked. So they've literally said about all of the genocidal things that have made human death even worse, right? More barbaric. Thank you, Peacemaker. Right. And I'm just like, I'm shocked that you think that that's normal, considering that human civilization is 300,000 years old. White people are 8,000 years old. And the white men did all that murder in 400 years. Sorry. Let me say it again. I want to make it very clear without my stuttering. Human civilization is 300,000 years old. White men are 8,000 years old. But this particular group of white men did all of the things that they've done to humanity in just 400 years, including all of those things that person mentioned: the gun, tank, airplane, artillery, atom bomb. So they built all these things so that they could kill more people. And like you say, Shand, they were doing it all to themselves. Since the dawn of time almost, they were always unaliving themselves until they found us and realized that they didn't have to kill themselves anymore. They could come and kill us instead. And my prompt 2 days ago, Shand, was, do not people see that white people are trying to kill us all? That was literally my prompt like 2 days ago. Yeah.
So, you know, and after everything that had said and happened, we were never really, we were never really repaid for what happened. We accepted that it happened. Okay, now let's live in harmony. But then, while we are trying to live in harmony, we are the most hated race. How is that possible?
Not. Remember, let's not repeat that, Shand. Yeah. Let's not repeat that, because they don't hate us, they hate themselves. Everything is projection. We are the chosen ones. We are born from the land. Jay, don't interrupt. Jay, don't interrupt, please. If you're new to my panel, everybody else here is new. Please mute up. And I will. Okay, Jay is a Neanderthal, clearly can't control himself. I explained the rules of my panel, but they cannot control themselves. That's number 7. Guys, in the chat section, can you monitor how many white men we actually managed to drop today? I think we're at number 7 because they can't adhere to the rules, and then the Neanderthal mouths have them running away with themselves. So I think we are at probably number 7. Shand, what was I saying? See, this is what happens when they interrupt. I lose my train of thought as well. About them.
We're talking about them hating themselves, because if you hate yourself, you have power to hate someone else. So the other guy who came to the panel and started saying, "Oh, Madhouse, oh, you speak like like what?" The stuff that they are using, the stuff that is the world is using, they are taking it from the countries that they are saying they speak like.
Yeah.
Like, make it make sense. Like, how
It's
can
so
you hate your
stupid.
bosses? You can hate your boss because if we turn against you, you're not gonna get anything.
It's so stupid.
You can hate your bosses. No,
Yeah.
we are. I can proudly tell you that we are the bosses because the world's wealth depend on us.
That's
I
right.
carry a responsibility.
Without us, there is no civilization. Without us, there is no civilization. Because they say Europe is for Europeans. Okay, you were in Europe, by the way, and then you didn't like it. So that's why you had to go throughout the rest of the world and find us and find what we had. And then when you found what we had and how we were living, you were jealous. And then you had to take it back for yourselves. And so like now when you say Europe is for Europeans, leave Africa to Africans then. Leave Asia to Asians then. But you still can't do it. Because the Neanderthal cannot live by itself. We are very aware that they are the parasitic people. They need us. We don't need them. And that's why they're very afraid, because they realize that now, that we don't need them. They've been, all of this brainwashing that they did on us, we are waking up. We've woken up. We see them for who they are. We have many people, especially on TikTok land, like myself, who are literally speaking truthfully. And I'm glad you've come across me, Shand. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
And it's about us and the diaspora, right? So I have a black panel tomorrow. So hopefully you want to come along to that, which is specifically about the Black, African, Caribbean diaspora conversation. And we're talking a lot about what's happening with our people around the world, and we're talking about how we're going to more unite and bring up our energy again, because of course we lost a lot of our energy through colonization, through the transatlantic slave trade, removing us from our motherland, removed us from who we were as people. But we're finding it again, because energy cannot be killed. We've always been infinite. We've always been infinite. No matter what they've tried to do to us, we have never been able to be deleted, because they've tried and they won't. So that's why it's important that if you even see yourself, Shand, the conversation where it says that white people hate us, they don't hate us, they hate themselves. And I've had prompts before saying this, like, why do white men hate everybody? They hate women, they hate children, they hate lesbians, they hate gays. And like before the 1500s, the world was free. We was free. We could do anything that we wanted to do. We didn't have all these labels and restrictions. But it was the white man that came with all of this hate inside this heart, because the hearts are not pure. And that's why they had to project onto everybody else. But that's funny you brought up that guy saying, oh, no, click. So like, so what? People communicate. There's like what, 5, I can't remember how many thousands of languages there are in the world. So only a Neanderthal thinks that English is the only language. I mean, the English sounds stupid. English is a terrible language. It's all spells. It's all negative language. English is the worst language we could be speaking on this planet. The worst language we could be speaking. It is so dangerous. It's got very, very just words in there that are not compatible with humanity. And this is why you have to try and talk more positively to yourself. If you're talking negatively of yourself, the vibration gets lower. Talk positively to yourself in the mirror. Talk positively to yourself throughout your everyday life, because guess what? That manifests in your body, and that's how the negative energy also manifests itself. So, is that me in the background or someone else? Airplane, me.
Yeah, it's you. You have an airplane.
It's me. Yeah, the airplanes are loud. I don't know why.
Okay, thank you so much, Foxy, for having me on the panel. Hopefully tomorrow I will be able to join the other one. Thank you so much.
Yes, we would love to speak to you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
My sister LB is here. LB, how are you, my darling?
Hey, sis.
Hi. Are you still on holiday? Or are you back now?
Yes.
54% of the murders are from black people with 12% population.
Jay, is that not the same person that came up? Was it on a different account to say the same thing again?
Yeah.
It was the same person. They just literally went to another account to come up and repeat propaganda that the white man told them to say.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even hear that they're bots. They don't even hear that they're NPCs. Ridiculous. LB, please continue. And thank you for coming by again.
No worries. Thank you for having me. It's the white fragility for me. Like, that's number 8, or should we say number 7? That the 8 white that you have to drop. You've literally given the instructions of your panel, but the white fragility, they can't take it. They would rather come up and spew their propaganda instead of doing their research and knowing the history. It's like the guy that came up. I was going to ask him a question. What about blood and WAR do you need to engage in to create the internet, because he said, oh yeah, we created the internet, created this, like he was doing humanity a favor. Why did you need to colonize? Why does it take people being unalived for you to create the internet? This is why I said they lack introspection. They will never ask themselves those hard questions and digest that thought. But he's literally coming up to expose himself. You don't need blood and violence to create the internet or to make certain things. That's what you told society. That's why we say it's intertwined in your DNA, and it's just very telling. They speak on black crime, but they don't speak about the whole redlining thing and how it's intentional where they move certain people. It's intentional. Like the hood is created. It's created by them. So yes, they, and when it comes to violence, they lead. Like we can compare the statistics of white on white violence, but they don't call it that. They don't give it a name. Why? Because you've dominated modern day. You've dominated modern day media and PR, and that's just what it is. They will never learn. But talking to them about racism, talking to them about their own violence, is exhausting.
No, exactly. That's why we talk to ourselves about it. And they're the ones that choose to get themselves involved in these conversations. Like, they don't have to be a part of it if they don't want to, but they always choose to. They always choose to. So, like I've mentioned, I have those 2 videos on my page, white on white crime, and also the black versus white quiz, because all they do is gaslight. They always try to say that. You see, they come up, oh, black people this, like, your statistics don't show that. They don't show that. You're really trying to vilify black and brown men to say that they are the problem. I'm talking about the world's problem. Yes, they are a problem. Of course, we know men are a problem. Us as women, we know men are a problem. But I'm talking about the world's problem. Every single continent has been affected by the white man. Women everywhere, children everywhere, civilizations, generations of people have been affected by the white man. And the fact that you boys have to come here with fake statistics so you feel better about yourself, you think that you can distract and stop the conversation. 55% of, the same guy is trying to distract. We're just please do not interrupt. Smack, don't interrupt. I'll say it again for everybody who's new to the panel.
Talk to me like I'm a fucking bitch, so shut the fuck up.
Well, don't act like a bitch then. Don't act like a bitch. Simple. If you don't want to be I didn't even say anything to him, and he was the one who was acting like a bitch himself. Don't interrupt on my panel. I'll say it again. Please mute yourself until I bring you into the conversation. That's all you need to do, is please stay quiet. If you unmute yourself and you start crashing out, that is your problem. What happens every time I drop them, they invite themselves back up again. So you can't see it, but I can see he's actually requested to come back up again. The same guy, because he could not control his own mouth. Right, Radio, are you back now? Radio, he was saying don't talk to him. I wasn't even talking to him, which is so funny. It's unsettled souls. Radio, are you there?
Kia ora, Fox. How are you, lovely lady?
Hi there. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I only speak for you.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you so much.
I don't speak on panels anymore.
Why?
Well, the main thing that my demographic needs is a good kick in the ass, and it's about lifting up other voices. So we broadcast so Radio 1 Degree members can see what you're doing.
But at the same time, I'm hoping that you're holding your own accountable, because there's no point in you just uplifting people if you're not saying, hey, white guys, what the fuck?
No, there's fireworks wherever I go.
Can you do that right now? Can you talk about the prompt now?
Do I think white men will see that they are the world's problem? Not while they're still identifying as white, no. Until that ideology is interrogated and abandoned, and white people say, oh shit, I'm French and Irish and I have a Ghanaian ancestor and I'm hurting the indigenous people of where I live, they're fucked.
So what do you do exactly then? How do you dismantle? How do you unpack?
Well, I've always grown up with Māori, so Radio 1 Degree is my current project, but I've always had something going on. A long time ago, like 20 or 30 years ago, I would have been encouraging people to play their music and have fun. That wasn't enough. Having fun wasn't enough. So over time, it's become a little more directly aggressive and confrontational, and evolved to Radio 1 degree, where we do what we do on the page that you can see, and I work one-on-one.
But what I want to know, I'm trying to ask you what it is that you actually do. Like, people here also need to hear what it is that you actually actively do. Like, how are you decolonizing, and how are you making sure that you as a white man, other people can hear your voice as white men? Because white men only listen to white men. They don't listen to me. They don't listen to any other people here.
Listening to other people. And taking on their experiences, people like you.
No, that's not what I'm getting at. That's not what I'm getting at. Like I've just said, white men don't listen to black women. Clearly, you sat here and heard like 8 men interrupt, have to be dropped, saying random shit. I'm asking you as a white man, what are you saying? How are you using your voice to make sure that white men are hearing what you have to say as well about the situation?
Well, I go in hard when they open their mouths, basically. And make the corrections that I've learned, mainly from listening to Māori and black women.
What I'm trying to get at is that I feel like you're quite passive. We're looking for people who are actually actively doing things. Like you say you have a platform. So how are you speaking? What are you saying? What are you telling people? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for active, not passive.
Well,
if you're not there or seeing it yet, then I'm going to tell you that you would like to be more active. We need more active people. We need more active white men, because this problem has been about white men. We can't have other white men just sitting back and say, well, black and brown people, like, we know that exists. We've had white men simultaneously uplift us. That's also been there. But we need actual active white men, because they are the biggest problem on this planet. They need to be active in the things that they know, the things that they hear, telling the story, sharing the stories, calling out other white men.
Shut up, you collywog.
So people like that. Number 9, is that? He's dropped, actually. I didn't drop that person. Number 9 of white men. So Radio 1, you're seeing exactly what happens here, is that you have these 10, thank you, Beth. We have these men that come, shout something and run away. So we need other white men to actively challenge these people, because they don't hear us. Does that make sense? Right.
Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Right, I'm going to move to Joseph now, please. Joseph, how are you?
Good morning.
Good. Good day to you. Good day to you. What would you like to add to the conversation, please? Do you think white men will see they are the world's problem?
They will never see it. They will never see it. I can't speak a whole lot of what happened in Europe, but I can speak of what happened in this country, America. It is, they've done so much damage because they just thought they were entitled because of the color of their skin. As a white man, I will never see things the way those people saw things. I will never do that. I know where I come from. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that I have white privilege that I am not proud of. I'm trying to keep my emotions in check here.
So the question I asked the question I asked the previous guy is, again, like, how are you actually using? So I've asked white men a few times this.
I need to do better.
How are you using your privilege? Because white men are in the strongest position on this whole entire globe. Your ancestors that came before you did a lot to this planet to put you in positions where you can do whatever you want, including using your voices. So are you actively using your voice as well?
If I'm using my voice, it's I need to do better. I need to do better. I've learned more on TikTok than I ever learned. I'm 58 years old.
Yeah.
And I learned more on TikTok about U.S. history than I never learned in school. I didn't learn about Black Wall Street. I didn't learn about the Tulsa Massacre. I didn't learn about those things.
When did you start learning?
That stuff.
When did you start learning? When did you think you started learning?
On TikTok.
Yeah, when? How long do you think you've been seeing?
5 years ago. I think I've been on 5 years.
You're the second white guy that I've had here saying 5 years of learning. I'm only 2 years. You have to
I know.
understand that just because we live in a black body does not mean that we have not been in the white system of brainwashing. We're in the same system. We're in the same system. We might have black skin, but we too have been uneducated by the white people.
I listen to everything that everybody tells me. I'm from a very diverse neighborhood where I grew up.
Let me say it again. Sorry, 1 minute. Let me just say it again, because I think that white men are not understanding what I'm saying. Ignore our bodies for a minute. I'm a black woman, you're a white man. Imagine we're the same person. We both grew up in white Western societies, yes?
Yes.
So how come me with my 2 years of knowledge has a platform and is talking like this, but you have 5 years? You have more experience than I do, more knowledge than I do, but yet we've got quite a lot of white men that come here and are still not speaking. Why is that?
I can't speak for them. I can only speak for what I've witnessed, what I've learned on here, and what I absorb. And I'm like,
you're not hearing me, I don't think. Why do you, as a white man, with all the knowledge that you have, why are you not telling other people, other white men?
Well, I do, like, you know, on panels. I don't do much of panel things, but at work, with my coworkers, you know, things that we're witnessing in this country, you gotta open up people's eyes of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people choose to ignore what's going on, especially the black people, and I can't ignore that.
Mm.
You know, I know that this, you know, America is like, it's hard for me to speak on European, but this country here was built on the backs of black women. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that. I absorb everything that I'm being told. My kids are 21. They see what's going on. They're exactly like me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ashamed to there's a lot of white people that let's take a look at school pewings. White people don't see that there's a problem.
Mm-hmm. So,
but if it was a black person, they would have a problem.
Yeah, so we got good comments in the comment section here. Water Goddess, always a joy to have you here, my darling. Says, it's been 5 years. Why do you still not know about Europe's role? Mimi as well is on the panel and she'll be coming in soon. So shame that in...
I want to learn.
So that shame into action. But that's the thing, like there's learning, but you're supposed to be learning and then using that knowledge actively. But this is what I'm finding too much now, is that white men are just soaking it in. You're becoming sponges. And then what are you doing with that information? I don't see it going anywhere. I literally don't see it going anywhere. Mimi's going to come in now as well and talk. I'm just going to go to Mimi for a second and then we'll go to Jackson after. Mimi?
Sorry, I know you don't like people cutting across, so I just thought I'd ask, because one of the things that I'm sensing here is there's a disconnect in...
Oh, Mimi, are you there? It's just disappeared. Mimi, your signal has just gone. When you come back, Mimi, let's try and get you back. But we're going to move to Jackson in the meantime, and then you can go back and ask Joseph something. Okay, Jackson, are you there, please?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good. So this is the topic today, please. It says, do you think white men will see that they are the world's problem? I know what your answer is going to be already.
I don't know if they're really... Okay, let's just sum it up quickly. You say we are the problem, all right? But I want to know, why do you think of it that way, and why don't we think of it as a whole, like as a people, you know?
What do you mean?
Because you're from
Which
Britain,
people?
aren't you? You live in Britain.
Which people? No, I don't. Don't deflect onto me. This is the subject, please.
Oh, okay, sorry. So, do you think white men will ever see the problem? That's the subject? Not really, in my opinion, no. Just because, what I want to sum up, you know what Joseph said earlier, he said about the American history. You know, white men say, yeah, let's just go quick. White men in America were horrific, so they killed and massacred the Native American people. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the white men who went there are colonizers. Like, as you know, the British Empire were colonizers, and they did colonize Africa as well, as you know, because you're probably really summed up on that topic. Is that really like
they colonized South America, North America, Canada, throughout Africa, throughout Asia. They did it in many places. Many places.
They colonized everywhere. The British Empire colonized most of Europe.
Yeah. But Britain itself was the worst of all. So deflecting to America doesn't actually look at the father, like the mother and father of America, a modern America. I'm going to say, of course, was Britain. 171 countries invaded. So this is the birthplace, and that's why we talk specifically about what happened in Britain and in England. People like myself, of course, I shouldn't have this accent. I should not be talking like this, but this is what colonization did to my people.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a big problem. So I would like to know if you see that as a problem.
It's like a 50-50, like for me. Countries should not be colonized. That's wrong, in my opinion. It's wrong. But it also does help countries develop as well. Like, it's a weird thing to say. Like, it's kind of sad to say, right? We helped other countries. We did terrible things. We did slavery. We abused people. We did all these things.
Who told you you're helping them? Like, where do you guys get this idea from? Has any African continent, any African country, or any Asian country, or any country in South America said, "Thank you so much for the help, guys"?
Of course not, because
exactly. So you didn't help, did you? It's up to the people to tell you, "Thank you for helping us," but not a single country or people has ever said, "Thank you, colonizers, for the help." So you didn't help. You think you helped because of your own propaganda and what the white men before you have told you. You didn't help.
Yeah, I get what you mean though. But do you think we did not help them with?
You didn't help. You didn't help. I've just said, Jackson. If you like hurt yourself and you break your leg, right, and I come and help you. I actually come and help you, right? And I take you to the hospital and I get you all this treatment and stuff. I've helped you, right?
Yeah.
But if you haven't broken your leg and I break your leg and I take you to the hospital, but I don't take you inside the hospital, I dump you outside the front door, have I helped you?
Not really.
Exactly. No. That's colonization, sir.
I'm confused. So
there was nothing broken in those lands. There was nothing to be fixed. Nobody needed help because the civilization is 300,000 years old. Everybody was living off the land, surviving, thriving, trading, doing all kinds of things with the gold, salt, oil. There was no such thing as this amount of greed. It was only the white Western European, when they realized they didn't have anything in the Caucasus Mountains and out through Europe, that they started to then travel around the world and see that everybody else had those things. And so instead of them integrating in societies, they took, they stole, they raped, they murdered hundreds of millions of people.
Yeah.
500 million people, 500 million people, thank you for the gift, have been killed by white men and white women. 500 million. Where is the help there? Where is the help? No, I said Europeans. I said white men, including the French, the Belgians, anyone from white Western Europe is 500 million, including your own. In World War I and World War II, where up to 53 million white people were killed during that time. Where is the helping?
Where's the helping? Nowhere. Yeah. But what I'm saying is war and, let's say, killing, right? Like killing one another, killing other countries. It's a terrible thing. But war only happens because people have different opinions, as you know. So, like, I'm not going to say...
No, war doesn't happen because of different opinions. Not modern war, anyway. It's not opinions, it's
not
greed.
Modern war.
It's greed.
It's greed as well. But, like,
it's greed.
Yeah, so what I'm going to say is, like, when the Roman Empire invaded Europe, like, when they did terrible things to the Germanic people, they slaughtered them, they completely just, like, they did worse things to the Germanic people than other countries did.
Yeah,
like,
white people learning from other white people. Interesting, because then Germanics did what?
Fight against them.
Yeah, and then the whole entire world. Yeah, and then the whole entire world.
So, one sec. So, because we got invaded and we defeated the Roman invasion and we basically put them back, and when the crumble of the Roman Empire happened, and then we started invading other countries because
That's not quite what happened, though. That's not quite happened. They came to Britain, and this was before the Anglo-Saxons came. I'm going to assume you're Anglo-Saxon line. So that was before. Yeah, are you from? You're Anglo-Saxon, right? Because you're talking about.
I'm Anglo-Saxon and Celtic. My parents are from Ireland, and yeah.
Okay, then so that's when when the Romans were in Britain, they actually was kind of losing and kind of thinking that their time might be done. So then that's when the Celtics then invited the Anglo-Saxons to come to Britain after. And then, of course, when the Anglo-Saxons came, they were like, oh, hold on, this is better than where we're from. So we're going to set up, guess what, England. And that's how England became a country. There's a lot of things that the Romans did. There's only one thing that I credit Romans for, and that was their lack of discrimination. They actually they actually enslaved as many people. They enslaved black people, they enslaved white people, brown people.
The Romans enslaved everybody.
Yes.
There was loads of white on white slavery as well. And still today in Africa, there's black on black slavery.
Yeah, and there's white on white slavery too in Ukraine and Russia as well. Slavery's not gone anywhere. So that's good that you brought that up, because white people say, what? We ended slavery. And you just brought up the fact that it's not ended.
Of course it isn't ended.
It's not ended.
Of course it is. It's a terrible thing.
Yeah, there's 50 million slaves worldwide, including in Europe and Africa and Asia. Korea has 2,000 years of slavery. So when white people, especially the Anglo-Saxons, say we ended slavery, Jackson, yourself, you have clearly said that slavery has not ended. It has not ended. It hasn't gone anywhere. It was replaced. It was replaced with capitalism. It wasn't abolished. It was not abolished.
In Britain,
it was not even made illegal. No, it was, but okay, it was quote unquote abolished, but then it was still made, it was not illegal. It was not illegal.
So, this is what I'm wondering. Why don't other countries abolish it themselves? Why don't they change it? That's what I'm wondering.
Many countries, so this is where you haven't obviously cleared. I don't even know how we've got into the topic of slavery now, because this is actually the topic now. Unfortunately, this is what happens, I think, a lot of times when white people, especially white men's feelings get, they start talking about slavery because they see a black woman sitting in front of them. So we end up having this conversation. Yeah, no, slavery is a big part of humanity. It goes back 3,000.
Yeah.
What? It goes back 3,000. It goes back 3,500 BC. Slavery is in the earliest records in Sumeria, Mesopotamia, Iraq. It has been a big part of human civilization. But this is where white people don't understand the different types of slavery. There was indentured servitude, which is what a lot of white people were. They were indentured servants, which meant they were just cleaning houses or doing some work in the field, and they managed to get freedom. What white people then introduced and spread was chattel slavery, which is what you used in the transatlantic slave trade, where you no longer saw people as people, you saw them as property and commodities. That meant you could kill them, you could rape them, you could do all disgusting things to them and enslave their children and generations for 400 years. That's what chattel slavery was, with the whipping, with the lynching, all the horrible stuff. And you also turned them into breeding farms too. You forced people to each other so then you could have babies and then bring them into slavery too, as well. That's what white slavery looks like. It didn't look like black slavery, didn't look like Asian slavery. White slavery was barbaric, brutal, and unhumanitarian.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Folks, I'm gonna leave now because it's 9:33 in the morning, and it's a thunderstorm in the UK at the moment. So I'm gonna leave you now. Yeah, thank you for opening my eyes. I'm gonna do research myself.
No problem. Good. Good. All right. Thank you so much, Jackson. Have a good day.
You too.
Take care. Bye. I'm just gonna address someone in the comment section. Dandykins is here all of the time. Dan, I've muted you, Dandykins. You come here and you say that I'm your favourite race baiter. Why don't you just take out the race baiter part and just say I am your favourite person on TikTok? Because you're here on my lives almost every time, Dandykins. Every time. And like I always say to people here, even if white people's souls are triggered by something, they always have to come and find me. I'm on their mind all of the time. They don't have to come here. I don't invite them. I don't say, hey, come and hear me speak. But they come here every single time. Funny. One day you're going to get yourself blocked, Dandykins. One day. And then you'll start crying, oh no, I miss Fox. And then you'll make another account to come and find me. That's what you do. Weird behavior. Right, Joseph, you're back again, I think, and Mimi is here again. So you guys want to have a conversation? Mimi, you back?
I am. I'm so sorry about that. Thank you for your patience. Wi-Fi
okay.
against me today. This country can't handle weather. I just want to say to the gentleman, because I think what's being missed is this idea that, oh, I'm learning is no longer good enough. You might have got away with that in 2020 with George Floyd, but we're beyond that stage now. We're at the stage now where we need to see action, okay? And so it then becomes the challenge that if you're not actively, because you have to be actively anti-racist, then you're actually complicit and therefore supporting the racist structure. And so this is why Fox is asking the two gentlemen, what are you doing? Because it's enough to say that you're listening and learning, but unless that translates into action, that doesn't actually help the cause. In fact, it harms it, because what it means to us is that you know the information, you're just choosing not to have those challenging conversations. There's no point coming into a space with black women and black people or disenfranchised people and saying, oh yeah, I'm with you, when we need you to be in those MAGA spaces, we need you to be in those reform spaces, challenging those white peers that you have who are not going to listen to us, and actively challenging them. And so when you come into our spaces, it kind of feels like a slap in the face, because you're then placing the burden back on to black women to do that labor for you. And it's this thing where we had, there was in the Americas, because I spend a lot of time back and forth, there was this meme where the woman was saying in the forest, like, oh yeah, we're saved now. The black women are coming out. They're coming out. And that was because 97 or 92% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. They were betrayed by whitey women who said that they were going to come out, and they didn't. And so in return, they said, look, you've got this. At the end of the day, it's your responsibility now. You voted down this man again, who's been very vocal about how he's going to take away your rights. So if you're not going to support Kamala Harris at the polls, there's nothing more for us to do. So there was actively black women saying, we're not even going on strike. We're just going to live our lives because we know what it's like.
That's it. We ain't doing nothing.
And what we then found was, when I started to come in to Minnesota, although they were doing stuff before in the earlier quarter of this year, we started seeing people saying, well, where are the black people? Why are the black people not out on the streets protesting? And we were just like, well, we warned you what was going to happen. Project 2025. He was very explicit. Trump's written down what he's going to do. Yeah. And it's the same for reform as well. So I'm focused on America, but I've got smoke for reform.
Yeah. I'm just gonna interrupt you for a little bit, just so Joseph can pick up on some stuff that you said, if he understands. So Joseph, do you understand what we're asking of you? Because we're asking you to do something, right? And it's very important that this is being done, or at least you're telling other people to do the things that you as a privileged white man are able to do, because we can't do it.
I completely understand, and I'm taking it all in. And I think when I absorb things, it fills me with, like, I need to find a way to release the anger that I get from it.
Yeah, to white men. That's where it needs to go.
Yes, I understand that, yeah.
Take that fire and put it to the white man. That's all you need to do. I have to be honest as well. I'm seeing this a lot. White men seem to be very scared of other white men. They're very afraid. Like me, you see me in my platform. I have white racists come here every single day. I've been doing this for like 2 years or so. I will never back down to any of these people. Never back down to any of them. But I'm hearing a lot of fear from white men, and I'm just like, nothing has happened to you. Literally, white men have done nothing to you. They've done everything to me and my sisters. Why are we the ones with the strongest voices? With everything that we've gone through as people and continue to go through, we have suffered. My mother has suffered. Our mothers have suffered. Our grandmothers have suffered. Our great-grandmothers have suffered. Our lineage is of suffering. As soon as the white man stepped foot onto our lands, has been suffering. But guess what? We've been fighting at the same time as well. We took up our arms. We intellectualized ourselves. We made ourselves strong physically. We've been able to fight the white man every single time. So why am I seeing white men sitting back and being so afraid of other white men? Because you obviously have felt that you've probably been protected by white men, because you didn't think that white men would turn on you, but they were turning on you as well at the same time. That's why I talk a lot about the hierarchy of men that Europeans made, you know, the alphas at the top and then betas, blah, 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 blah. That stuff was all bullshit. Joseph, as a white man, you need to build yourself up intellectually and physically to be able to fight men who look like you. It is very important that you do that. Very important that you do that. Incredibly important, because it's not our job to do that. So hopefully that makes sense now, Joseph. Thank you so much. I'm going to drop.
Sorry, before he goes, sorry, I said the ICE situation because it was leading me into my point about yesterday in the United States, they've removed the protection for Syrians and for Haitians. Now, can't speak on the Syrian situation because I don't know that much about it. I do, but I'm not going to go into it. But with Haiti, it's particularly egregious. Haiti has suffered, I think, nearly 8 silent coups by the USA since 1914. I think the USA stole something around £800 million of Haiti's gold in 1914, and that's why they were late to getting into WW2 with us, because they were fighting Haiti and trying to get into Cuba as well. So when it comes to what's happened yesterday with Haiti in particular, given how the Haitians have gone into a place, Springfield, Ohio, and have taken the jobs that white people have chosen that they didn't want to do, and revolutionized that area economically, it's no longer acceptable for me as a black woman to hear a white man saying that he doesn't know what to do. You've just had a whole group that's been targeted by your government. You should be calling your senator, your congressman, and be out on the street saying that you want those temporary protections placed back in for them, DACA, and everybody else that's affected by Trump's rolling back of those protections, because we know it won't just be them, it will be other people that will be placed on those ICE camps. It will be the poor, which is he's already criminalized poverty in California in particular, and with the Skid Row stuff as well. So when I hear an American person saying, oh, there's not much I can do, or I can speak, there actually is. You've actually got more power as a white man in America than most of the other groups that are in there. So there are things that you can put your body on the line. Renee Brown is a classic example. When she was unalive, that's only when we saw the whitey women start to click and be like, oh, they're coming for us. Whitey supremacy maintains itself, and it will also unalive members of its own group to protect itself. And we saw that through Renee Brown. And it doesn't seem to resonate with a lot of whitey people that you will be next. Because they'll come for you. When you're not doing what they want, they will come for you. So whilst you're happen to allow everybody else to be caddenfunner, and it tends to be black people first, you're actually setting your own noose up for yourselves. There was a young person that was strange fruited on the weekend, on Juneteenth weekend. I have yet to see YT people coming out to mobilize to ask for the KKK, the Triple K, to be prescribed as a terrorist group. That's the one group that hasn't had any sort of actions done on it. There are many things you can do, you're choosing not to, and that's the frustration for us as BLK people. So yes, we're happy to have people as allies or say that they want to be allies, but right now the heavy lifting needs to be done by you.
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks,
absolutely. Thank you, Mimi. So yeah, white men, just do the goddamn work. Just do the goddamn work. Okay, we're going to move now to Mr. Floop, please. Mr. Floop, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. What would you like to add to the topic today is, do you think white men will see that they are the world's problem?
During modern time, I wouldn't really say mainly. I'll say in the past, definitely they did horrible stuff. But at the same time, they did a couple of great stuff like UK, we won the first end the slave trade, in law. Of course, it still happens. You can't really stop anything. It's going to happen somewhere, really, no matter what. But in my opinion, I feel I feel like the main problem in the world, the Middle East. That's my opinion.
Are you affected by the Middle East?
Huh?
Are you affected by the Middle East? Are you affected by the Middle East?
No, but the people in the
yeah,
people
exactly.
In the Middle
You're
East
not. You're not affected by the Middle East. We're talking about the world's problem. The world's problems. The world's problems. You're not affected by the Middle East. The world's problems. Can you read that out? Read that out, please.
Tell me how white men are the world's problem.
I asked you to read it out, please. Can you read it out,
Do you
please?
think white men will see they are the world's problem?
Why did you say it like that? Are you upset that you're the prompt?
No, I'm just saying, tell me to read it. Well, I obviously
yeah, but you read it. You read it.
Saying that as
you read it. You read it in that way. You read it in that way, like it was upsetting to you.
Yeah, can you tell me to read it again? But I can obviously see it.
Go then. Do you want to read it? Do you want to? Oh, it's stupid is it?
It's a bit stupid they tell me to read it again. We already know what it says.
I never told you to read it again. I told you to read it once, and you've read it out loud, and you read it in that way, which was quite amusing to me. Anyway,
tell me to read it again.
You've already said that the problem is in the Middle East, but I've asked you if you're affected, and you're not, because they're not actually affecting the world really. They're affecting that region. It is very bad what's happening in that region. But the problem is, as I said, the world's problems. The world's problems. Like every continent. Like we talk about things historically, and we talk about things presently, and white men are a problem. We have literally people come here on this panel, indigenous people or people that have gone back to their motherlands and said, white people are here again. They're colonizing the area. They're disrespecting the people, disrespecting the locals. They are pricing people out of their own homes. They're also actively doing genocides as well, because we know that's still happening. They are trading in arms. Doing all of those things across the whole world. The prompt is the world, Mr. Floop. The prompt is about the world.
Can you tell me some modern genocides that white people are doing in other countries?
Okay, so behind, if you actually looked into any history into what's happening in Congo and Rwanda, who's behind it, Mr. Floop?
Huh?
Who's behind it? Who's behind it?
Behind what?
Rwanda and Congo genocides that are going on right now. Who's behind it? And Palestine. Thank you so much. And Palestine. Who's behind that?
Who?
You don't know. It's white men.
Is it? Does it still happen to be someone that's white?
And Sudan. Thank you as well, Water Goddess. Sudan. Yeah, it's white people. It's always white men. It's not. Well, Israel. You know who Israel was created by?
I know who Israel is. And I'll say this myself. I don't really like Israel myself. I don't really like Israel.
But do you know who Israel was created by and how Israel was created?
Basically, it used to be like Palestine and Israel used to be thingy British land until British gave a bunch of that land slowly for the past 100 years. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure.
The Balfour Declaration. Of course, the US were also involved in that, but that land was promised 3 times to 3 different groups of people, and then of course they gave it to Israelis, which was not their land to give away. And that's what happens: is that when white men go to other places and start claiming land and giving land away, they become the world's problem. Right?
You also tell me some when you say world problem, do you mean by wars, or do you mean cell takeovers, or
anything, any problems? It doesn't have to be just active wars. Like I say, colonization happens through economy as well, through capitalism. So when people are coming, especially British people, which is what they do, look at what they're even doing in Spain, for example. Thank you so much, Leanne, for coming a fan club for 3 months. Well done. Yeah, even in Spain, Spanish are getting annoyed by the British. And there's different levels of whiteness in this that we can talk about. I've talked about this in my platform. But when you have literally Spanish people saying, we don't want the Brits here anymore because they don't integrate, they don't respect culture, they don't respect the lands, then people get upset. And that's what happens in places. They get upset.
See, I live in the UK. I can completely understand with them not integrating. But similar things also happen in this country with people coming from Afghan.
Why are they there? Why are they there? Why are they there? Why did they go there?
Usually, I'm my lucky guess, and I guess from because I live in a Muslim majority area in the UK.
I said, why are they there? How did they get to the UK? Why did they go there?
Usually they usually go from Turkey, and then they usually pass down from European countries. You told me you had to get from.
Not the route. Why have they come to the UK?
Usually it's because probably some generally go there for like better opportunities, but most of them are legal anyway and do get jobs, but probably for the benefits.
Oh goodness me!
Because the government.
Why do you think? And oh god, I really feel tired already. Yeah, thank you, CHB18 blood giving directions. Yeah, brain cells. We're all kind of losing it a bit here, Mr. Floop. Okay, so how old are you? You're in your 20s.
Best not to. I'm just not gonna say because you're
in your 20s. You're in your 20s.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Mr. Flop.
Hold on, wait a minute, please, Leanne. Mr. Floop, you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Kind of, I know we're losing the crowd a little bit there because we're all kind of getting a bit tired. But in your 20s, is that you literally are just repeating propaganda, okay? Leanne, you say he's not above 18.
I see it myself.
No, you don't see anything. You see what the government and media have told you to see.
I'm literally living near migrant hotels. Migrant
hotels. Interesting.
Yeah,
so people are saying
that.
That you're younger than that. Okay, so you obviously haven't developed your own mind as well. Can we verify your age, please? People are saying you're younger than that. You're 16. How old are you?
I'm not 20.
No, how old are you?
What year were you born?
Huh?
What year were you born?
I was 2006.
Yeah, he does. He's not 18, by the way.
Yeah. This conversation is meant to be for over 18s, by the way, Mr. Floop. So I am going to drop you. Okay, you obviously still have a lot of stuff to learn. A lot of stuff to learn. Thank you, Leanne, for that. Thank you for the comment section as well to tell me he is a lot younger than he said. So obviously his voice sounds young and his behavior sounds young. But this is the thing with these guys. I have men in their 50s who still talk the same goddamn way. Men's development is very different. So, okay, now we've got Turtle on the panel, please. Turtle, how are you today? The subject is, do you think white men will see that they are the world's problem?
Hey, Fox.
Hi there.
Yes. Of course they are the world's problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to say that it wasn't only 400 years. It's been since 1492. It was over 7 different European nations that invaded and colonized America.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely the problem. They've always been the problem.
Yeah. Always. Is there any more that you want to add? Otherwise, I'll move to the next person.
No, I'm just listening. But I also wanted to say was, even their religions that they brought us and forced on us doesn't even make sense. Because it's like when you question these things, it's like, why would a thief give his victims something to help them gain superpowers? It just doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't understand the writings of the church fathers,
Please don't interrupt people on the panel. So for everybody, Leonatus, thank you so much for muting. Please don't interrupt here. Everybody waits their turn. Leanne gets certain privileges because she's a moderator, and Mimi as well, certain privileges because they're moderators. But everybody else, can you just mute up and I will call you one at a time to speak. So please don't interrupt, otherwise I will drop you. Yes, carry on, Turtle.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you so much. Right, we're going to move to the next person, please. We've got Hanu next, please. Hanu Mama? Yes.
Oh my goodness. I thought I would never be.
Take some time.
Morning,
Take
everyone.
some time with our conversations here because there is no screaming and shouting. This is no Neanderthal space. That's why everybody gets their time to speak. But yeah, this is the subject today. Do you think white men will see that they are the world's problem? What do you have to add?
Girl, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. For what? It is not beneficial. Why would you, if you have created a problem to catapult yourself to the top of all humanity, you would then create more problems to keep yourself there?
Mm-hmm.
Being a 49-year-old Black woman in these United States of America, what we are learning is that there are so many American adults that have 6th grade, y'all would say primary school, 6th grade elementary school for us, reading comprehension levels and
it's the
lower.
Same in the UK. Same in the UK. It is very poor, very bad.
So this is the issue that we're having on my panels as well. The issue that we have a lot of times is that if we are going to have a conversation with someone who is reading at that level or below, that means that they're not going to be encouraged to read. And if they do read something, they're not able to understand it. And if they're not able to understand it, they're not able to absorb it. And if they're not able to absorb it, then they're not able to apply it right? With any kind of critical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So when we are having these conversations, and I am a part of the proud 92%, when we're having these conversations and we're saying, okay, listen, we have tried to coddle you and push you along and show you how this is not even beneficial for you as a working class person, regardless of your hue. And what we get in return for our teaching is nuh-uh, right? If that's basically the response, that's what you just got from that baby that was on the panel. Nuh-uh. When we get those responses, the only other logical reaction is to sit back and pull our hands back.
Yeah.
And so the large majority of us here have decided that you will not listen to us. So what we're doing is putting our capes in the closet.
Exactly.
So
we are not here to save
that's where
them.
we're at.
We're not here to save them.
But the biggest part for us as melanated people across the diaspora is that we're going to have to start coming together and understanding that we are being used as tools of white supremacy against each other in various ways. I am Generation X. I know the propaganda that was pushed at me about other Black people the world over.
Yes.
And so, but I'm unpacking those things, like you said. You know, I have a colonized tongue. You do too. So I'm unpacking these things for myself, and that's my daily goal is to be in spaces with especially my sisters across the globe. Right.
This is the whole thing. This is what we're doing. This is what I'm doing. And I don't know if you were here when I've said it, but please do come by tomorrow, because every Saturday I have a Black panel only for everyone in the African Caribbean diaspora. And we are talking about all of this stuff, all of the stuff that has divided us in order for us to find unity again. This is very important. And then I'm going to follow you as well. Follow back. Thank you so much for following me already. I'm following you back now. So yeah, this is it. And I love how you speak. I really love how you speak. So I'm looking forward to actually joining your panels as well. It is. This is what we need to do. And I get annoyed, and I'm glad you brought it up about the ways that they still try to divide us in the diaspora, right? With stupid things like, what came to my mind there? My mind's just gone blank for a minute. Just like about how they always try to divide anyway African Americans or Black Americans and Black British people, like all that stupid diaspora war conversation pisses me off, because I'm like, Europeans have been warring since the inception. Like,
I have a question for you when you're done.
They put it up, they put it upon us, right? This bullshit. So for me, like I say, I'm always about the unity, and where I find where I find the unity is always by remembering who are the people that divided us. It is always white men, and I always extend it as well to the brown community. Whilst they know that there's a lot of anti-Blackness that, of course, that lives in South Asians, and I know of the Latino community. I haven't really extended it to Latino because, of course, that's more in America. But in Europe anyway,
definitely here.
So in Europe anyway, it's mainly South Asians. But I've done joint lines with South Asian people where they're also learning about their own anti-Blackness. It's not on my weight to do it, but I'm showing up, and the South Asian representative is also getting them to challenge their anti-Blackness. So for me, I'm always about the global majority. We are the global majority in all of our different melanated shades, but I'm very keen on uniting Black people because that is the most important subject for me on that. So yes, honey mama, you got something that you wanted to add?
Yes, two quick things. First thing is, as far as the South Asian anti-Blackness, so I don't know how much you keep up with any of the big stories here in the U.S., but there was a young man named Cyrus that was unalived. Yes. So if you're, so now what that has done, even though there were already some of us that had already removed our money from, redirected our money into Black owned businesses from those spaces, right? That they were strategically placed in our neighborhoods. Okay, so this is just an American history thing for everybody, and y'all can, don't believe me, look it up, please. So we have decided to divert our funds back into, or redirect our funds back into our own businesses and our own communities. Okay, they in turn, because we made this announcement and we're making this movement together and sharing resources again, there are some in the South Asian community that have decided that they're going to equate that to hate, which is weird. Us loving ourselves is now hating you. Cool. But anyway, I don't know if y'all have any of those issues there, but that's what we're dealing with here right now, specifically.
We had something end of last year where I feel quite differently about this, and Mimi also was kind of on a different level to what I think and believe, so she can also speak to you about this a little bit. But we basically had a similar, so we were following what the US were doing in terms of, we saw the hair protest, as in like, don't spend any more money, in the hair shops, use everything that you've got, do everything naturally from 1 month. We saw that, absolutely brilliant. And then of course we were seeing a lot of the economy that was also taken up by the Asian community. And then what happened in the UK is that, thank you, Leanne, there was a hair shop in Peckham which is actually closed down now because there was we know the same happens in the UK, right? Is that a lot of the Asian shops are stocking black hair products, but there was a guy in Peckham who was the shop owner who actually ended up strangling a black woman because she wanted a refund. Okay, so then that shop got boycotted and it's closed down now, rightly. I think they have another shop, so I hope that the boycott continues. But what happened, what I didn't agree with was that there were certain people that said that we should boycott all of the Asian community in entirety, and I didn't agree with that because I still think that as the global majority we need to have union, and business doesn't work alone unless you have some kind of connection or some kind of understanding. In the UK, much like the US, but actually I have to say it's probably different in the UK, is that when the racial hierarchy was put in, literally black people got nothing, and they've been able to build, but I think we also suffer with a lot of low self-esteem in Britain. So when you have the Asian class, they were actually installed as the buffer class, and they've been able to build and grow more. But also, of course, we do patronize, as black people do in the United States, as that we also do in the UK. But I've also seen the other side of things where a lot of Asian people have also wanted to connect more with black businesses, and I've seen that side too. I've seen them wanting to patronize us, and they've said, oh well, you know what, I only go to this shop for Nigerian food, and I only go there because of blah 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 blah. I've seen those things where black and brown communities are working together. I've seen that part. So when I see people saying we're going to boycott the whole entire community, for me that doesn't work, because I know how business works. I've invested, I know exactly who I need to have in these conversations. So I know that some people disagree. Fairy Bread, you say disagree as well. Like I said, I've run in business, so I'm going to have a very different perspective on how business works. I'm talking about things from economy. So 1 minute, Fairy Bread, please don't interrupt, because I said that Mimi would speak, and I think Leanne's probably got something to say. But I don't want this to turn into... Maybe let's move this conversation actually to tomorrow. Let's talk about this tomorrow instead, because I don't want us to take away from the topic, okay? So let's I think this is a very important conversation to have. Yeah.
Could one of your moderators for tomorrow's topic or for tomorrow's conversation, one of the moderators, if y'all can jot down F like Frank, B like boy, A like Albert, and I would like to know if there is a movement in the UK or in any other countries like that we have here.
Can you write that down? I don't know what that is. Oh, yeah, says that is.
Yeah, it's growing, and this is what I mean about it being a psyop and a COINTELPRO. So we're having vestiges of that now. It won't be the same here because of how our enslavement and colonization took place, but there's definitely been a whipping up of that sentiment over here. But what Fox is talking to predates that, and there's other stuff around that as well. So
let's talk about it tomorrow. We need to talk more about this and understand, because there's some stuff, of course, that I still don't know. So let's talk about that tomorrow. But let's talk about the subject. So yes, you agree, Hanu Mamu, that white men are a problem. That's what we all agree with. They are all it's the.
I got into all of that, and I'm gonna shut up. I got into all of that because this is the foundation of all of it. So the pitting us against each other, the destruction and theft of our resources. It's all of that. Like there was the gentleman that was very complacent that was talking about how he's absorbing all the things. He's now a sponge that's sitting in the corner being sad. Like that's what it immediately brought to mind for me. That's the imagery I got from his conversation.
Sad boy energy. Yeah. That's actually very good visualization. Sad boy energy sitting there. Like I say, when we feel
go
the
be
fear,
mad.
it's like,
go be mad over there with Brad and Scott and them and tell them how angry you are and why this is wrong. Like, this is what like the black spaces on our side is the same thing. They're coming, oh my God, I just feel so bad. And I'm like, well, go talk to Biff and them over there, the ones that are foaming at the mouth racist.
Yes.
Do that over there. Don't tell me how bad you feel. Show me how bad you feel.
Yes, because isn't it, they don't feel like our spaces are comfortable for them, right? They don't want to face the discomfort of actually reflecting upon themselves and their own behavior. Because like, look, I challenged his own behavior here. This is what we have to also make people understand, right? And I think you guys know here is that when white people come here, especially white men, and they try to say that they're allies, you see me, I always challenge. Even if they're on this deep run, I'm always like, what are you doing with that now? This is not a safe space for you either. Don't come here, like you said, sad boy energy, feeling sorry for yourself. You're not a victim in this shit. You're not the victims here. Go and do what you're supposed to be doing, which is actually challenging your people, challenging the establishments, because we're fucking tired. Thank you so much, Hanu. Thank you, sister, for coming by.
You're welcome.
So let's continue the conversation tomorrow. Please do come by. Let's talk more. We need to. Right, thank you so much. Right, we've got Mimi next, darling. Right, I'm going to start whizzing. The battery is struggling again.
So I was going to say, they won't, because it benefits them currently. If you look at what's happened with the S tourism that's happening abroad, we had a guy on the app yesterday. He was very proudly in another country, but had
Thailand.
With his bald-headed self to talk about issues that were happening in the country that he's no longer residing in. You've got colonization where they're allowing their governments and funding their governments to go and invade other places. I'm looking at you in the UK. You've got Syrian refugees, you have got Iraqi refugees, Afghani refugees, these are wars that WARs that we have all funded, be it directly through our friends in the UAE. Our hands are dirty, so therefore you cannot complain when these people are coming over, because we've put them to come over here.
Yes.
Also, the platform and offenders, YT men, you don't stand by your words. This morning I've woken up to see Jimmy Fallon's got the Irish boxer Conor McGregor.
Yes.
Who was convicted of a horrific assault. If you found out what happened to that woman's body.
Horrible.
They've still been allowing him to go on and spread his nastiness about nationalism and about immigrants when he himself is in America as an immigrant. It does not make sense. And then when it comes to the US elections, you've got the highest office being held by a man who again has been convicted of GA. Great. So you don't stand by your word. I do think it's what you said. They are scared of other whitey men.
They're afraid.
Unfortunately, when you're doing this, you're not helping it. They're not helping themselves. Their emotional damage of capitalism. They can't feed their families under one wage. They're now losing their grip emotionally as well. They haven't got anyone to talk to because they've built up this facade. You've got red pill on the agenda. They're not tackling that. They feel that by leaning into misogyny, it's going to help them, when it actually disadvantages them a lot more than women. It's sad. So I feel like when it comes down to it, they know that they're the problem, but until they're ready to look in the mirror, they're not going to change. And it's for us to actually work out how we're going to deal with that. And I strongly believe in shunning, stoning, and exiting them out of the community.
Yes.
Because if you're not going to deal with it, then it makes me complicit. Just like I was saying to the other guy that was up here earlier, it makes me complicit in the effery that they're doing. If I know that you're doing something wrong, but I'm still allowing you to come in and lay in my bed and do all the rest of it, then I'm sanctioning that behavior. Ladies, go do what the Korean women are doing, what the African ladies did before they went on strike. We need to stop. Then they'll start to change their ways. That's it.
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's it. Women, remove your energy, remove yourself, remove everything, and you see them. You see them. Do you know what? I heard a tweet on my Twitter. Was it about 2 or 3 years ago? that got the boys mad. Because I said, yeah, 4B. Actually, I think I put this out before the 4B movement. I said, if you just stop having sex with guys, like watch them spin out, like they will get so angry, but they will start to stabilize. They have to deal with that kind of emotion. They were so angry at me. It had hundreds of comments. And I was like, of course, I'm not going to respond to any of these. I'm just going to let them get angry and mad at themselves about it. I can't remember. I need to find it actually, because it is a really good tweet that I put out there. But yeah, it's probably like about 5 years ago, probably longer than that. Because I'm a dominatrix. Some of you guys know this, that I work with men for a living. I literally have them submissive men from all over the world come to my space, tell me exactly what it's like to be a man in this world. And I'm just like, shut up, bitch. That's literally like my response. Just shut the fuck up, bitch. So thank you, Mimi. Right, we're going to move to Water Goddess now, please. Water Goddess, how are you today, my darling?
Good morning. I am good. How are you?
I'm lovely, thank you. So what would you like to add? Do you think white men will see that they are the world's problems? I know what you're going to say, but go on.
I might surprise you.
You won't.
I'll try. I think they already know. They just don't want to admit it, and they want to hide behind the other men that are above them, making things worse. Right? If they can just, that's what they keep doing. Oh, it's a class thing. It's not whatever. It's not gender or race or what. It's just class. So they can point and go, look, big bad man with the big bad money. Don't look at me, who is literally thinks that you are not human because you have a yoni. Right? Yes. I'm not the problem because I'm poor.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. It's always deflection, distraction. They're always the problem. They're the bane of everybody's existences. And I think it's really pathetic that even the poorest of white men, even the poorest ones, like we say, is all they have to hold on is racism and poverty, and which of course still affects the rest of us. It still affects the rest of us. You hear how they come up here, like even yesterday, I'll bring it up again, because this made me piss myself. I've watched the replay back from yesterday. Some of you guys were here. The first man who came up to my panel yesterday was somebody called Talkative. They had the ship as their profile picture. And he started to do the same thing as what you've seen all these other white men say. Oh, Africans live in mud huts and they ain't achieved nothing. And I said, okay. Let me show you my house. Let me show you what I've done. This is me. Me and my friends, my family, like everybody I know is also the same. Now show me, white man, what you've done. And he started to say, oh, brush your teeth. First of all, before that, he tried to say he had a sea view and all that kind of shit. I haven't even showed you my sea view. Some of you guys have seen it. I've got a sea view, mountain view. And he didn't manage to do anything. Yes, exactly. He told me I was in a hotel. And after that, I was thinking, what a compliment. He thinks my house is so beautiful that I'm in a hotel. I was like, that is a lovely thing to say, actually. It was lovely. But this is the thing about these white men, is that they just not have managed to evolve, like past their propaganda, past what other white men have been able to say to them, that even the poorest ones, because they are the foot soldiers, right? It's like the white men, these poor men are the foot soldiers for white narcissism. They are the ones who are doing the work for men who came before them and literally called them bitches for generations upon generations. So this is why this generation of white men are very weak, very submissive, and getting sucked into the red pill incel culture is literally a symbol of how weak they are, mentally weak, financially weak, physically weak. They are weak. Weak people. So it's interesting, IBN in the comment section saying that I'm married into this. No, I just told you that let me tell you specifically, okay, IBN? Let me get real close to the microphone. I made my money from white men. White men are my slaves. They are my bitches. I've literally got my reparations. That's why I have several houses. That's why I have money in the bank. The money has been redistributed to black women. It's been redistributed to me. And I have too then have put the money back into my black community. I'm not married to any man because I don't need to be married to any man. White men, black men, brown men give me money willingly because why? I'm a black woman. I don't even have to do anything. I could literally turn on my webcam right now to an empty room and they pay me, and they have done, and they continue to do so. You men in your boy brains think that women have to take their clothes off and have to do this and this and this. That's what you think. But you don't know men like I know men. I know men very, very well. I could literally open my bank account right now and find that men have dropped £50, £100, £1,000. What's the most a man's ever given me? £100,000 in one go. My biggest clients have been up to $500,000. Right? So this is how I understand what men are like. You don't know men because you don't have the ability to see men, because a lot of men are narcissists. Women have always been the spectators of humanity. We see everything, including men. And so when I have a prompt up here, my prompt is 100% accurate. You don't reflect upon yourself. I know you very well. Water Goddess, is there anything that you want to add before we move to Leonidas?
One, I love you. And two, I want to be, this is what we need, right? You need to be like the teacher of all women and all girls, because we need to stop. We need to stop all of this nonsense that we're doing. We need to learn, we need to grow, we need to apply the things that we learn in our real lives. Because the white guy whose name I forgot, they came here like, oh, I feel emotional. Why are you, a white man with all of the power, crying to a black woman about how hard it is to live under white supremacy? Are we okay? But you have been learning and studying for 5 years, but this is what you've learned, to mammify black women and to just do nothing with anything that you
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
What are we doing?
Exactly. Then putting themselves as the victim is just nonsense. I'm also going to readdress the chat real quick. The majority of wealth in the world was what? Stolen by white men. It was not earned, it was stolen. And so it is up to the global majority to what? Get that money back by any means, any way, shape, or form. And so I took mine. I've got mine. And the thing is, I didn't even have to take it. I've never had to beg. I've never had to steal or borrow like you people. I've told them it belongs to me, and the boys have said, yes, it does. They say yes, because that is the story. They know that holding any money has literally made them feel so guilty because they did not earn it. It was stolen. They are very quick to give it back to the people that it belongs to. But black women, brown women, you need to put yourself in the right space to receive that money back. And IBN, I know that you're a fragile little bitch down there, thinking that women need men. We don't need men. We want everything else that you've built. Yes, you've been very physical in the world. You've built the property and you've taken the money, all those kind of things. You've taken those things. But these are things that became, they were naturally in the earth. But you took it. And so we need you to be able to take those things back and for you to be able to give them back to us. These things have nothing to do with man. Nothing to do with man. These were things that were naturally on the earth, and you will get used until we don't need you anymore. You are only here now to uplift women, to make sure that we are looked after. That is what your position is. And those of you who are not doing it, of course, are getting what? Exited out of the system. Goodbye. No more men for you. No more men here. All of you dumb men who tried to say that I'm low Q because you're projecting your inability to read and understand. No more for you either. Earth is saying goodbye, because guess what? This is Mother Earth. It's not Father Earth. It's Mother Earth. And she said no more. Right, thank you so much, Water Goddess. Thank you so much. Right, we're going to go now to am I saying this right? Leonidas?
It's pronounced Leontis.
Leontus, thank you so much. Right, so what do you have to add, please? Do you think white men will see that they are the world's problem?
I don't agree. All white men, to be honest. I agree that elite.
Does that say all white men in the prompt? Do you see the word all there?
Well, I'd say like we have to be specific. So like elitist.
It's very specific because it says white men and they're still white men. It doesn't say all white men.
Well, not necessarily because like you don't account for the elitists in like China. You don't account for the elitists in like Saudi Arabia.
Where are you from? Where's the ethnic background of your biological
Congolese.
parents, please?
I'm
You're
Congolese. I'm Congolese, yes,
So does it serve you to do work for white narcissism? Like, does it make you feel good?
I'm not sure. I'm serving white narcissism.
Do you feel happy being a black man and actually doing the work for white narcissism of doing the white narcissism?
I don't feel happy that when I see my president Tshisekedi not pushing for economic populism amongst the people. I don't feel good about that.
Answer my question. I said, you as a black man, the first thing you came up to say was being like pro-white. Does that make you feel good?
I'm not being pro-white.
You are. Because you've literally challenged the prompt. You haven't agreed.
I'm not being pro-white.
You are being pro-white. People in the comment section can also see that you're being pro-white. I'm trying to help you, brother. Don't argue against me. I want to help you, brother.
I
want to help you, brother. I want to help you.
You don't have to
as my black brother. You're also displaying microaggressions right now as well, telling me that I'm screaming over you. I'm telling you right now, Congolese black brother, the first thing that you came up here and be was pro-white. As a Congolese man, and the things that they're doing to your country, the things that they've done to Yves Sekila. Do you even know who Yves Sekila is? Do you know who that is?
Yes.
What happened to him?
Well, he robbed the store and he got unalive unjustly by a bunch of security guards who literally just stood in his neck. I'm familiar with the story.
What color were the ones who stood on his neck? What color were they?
White men.
They were white men. And you know what? It was alleged that he stole. It's not even been proven.
Like a perfume.
Alleged.
Yeah, but I don't agree that he should have like been done like that. I think that's like horrible. Like I think that's like really stupid.
Yeah, exactly. But this is what happens when you're a black man living in a white world. As soon as you say anything pro-white, things like this happen to Yves Sekila.
Okay, but like my thing is this: is that
No,
like, the real
you're not hearing me. You're not hearing me.
I want to have a conversation.
You're not. No, there is no conversation. There is no conversation, Leotus. I'm trying. Like I said, I'm trying. Yeah, I am going to lecture you because I'm your big sister right now. I'm your big sister right now. And what happens when the big sister comes along? She has to lecture you, unfortunately. I don't want to have to do it. I don't want to have to do it. But yes, I am, because we're all family here, right? I'm black, you're black. We are family. We are family. I'm going. Yeah, they do. But at the same time, I'm still going to be. I'm still going to be. No, you listen to somebody. No, you don't. Because when there is somebody who is actually wiser than you, then you listen, and thank you. You listen to your elder. You listen to your elder, because you know what? I've had people on this platform tell me. I've had people on this platform, black men and black women, tell me as well. Because guess what? I've had to keep my ego in check, so I know where blackness is supposed to go. Okay.
I've had Congolese politicians in Congo tell me.
Leonidas, please, if you unmute one more time, I will have to drop you to the comment section, because I'm trying to teach you something. This is something that's really important. It's really.
You're not going to bully a black man. Get a white man up here that you can bully. It will be more entertaining.
There's another Congolese. Do you want to talk to another Congolese sister? There's another Congolese sister here, Water Goddess. Will you speak to her?
I would love to have a conversation with her.
Yeah, let's get her up as well. So, Water Goddess, I'm going to accept you up. So I'm going to try and whiz through this because my battery is getting really low. Water Goddess.
Yeah, what are we doing right now? What is happening?
Hello,
Leon. Yes. Uzosala nini.
Nasa na nga lo mote. Nga na lo bakaka. Omoni nga ya. Nga famille na nga ya ba bénéfice kaya na président ya na ki président Tshisekedi. balia kaka mbongo bayiba mbongo biso mibale to ba congolais to yebi biso mibale so na ebite ofanda na Congo déjà
te na fami muti
nga na fanda déjà na Congo na sali plus de 7 ans banda 13 ans tina comme 20 ans na tanga na bana Kabila na tanga na bana Tshisekedi na zana ba connexion wana na famille na ngai pe okoye ba pe yeso lingo kanga likuta ke ota la compagnie ya papa na nga Inter Congo eyebani like I'm not lying. Money ngai ne na fani na tamni mondo na servi pe na British Army pe. You know what I mean? Ne na tamni na oui na servi pe na British Army pe.
Attends.
Na raison na ngai. Hein?
Tout changer na anglais. Okay, so yeah, keep going.
All right. So my thing is this: my experience here, from what I've seen, do you know what I mean, in Congo? Do you know what I mean? And what I've been raised, and I'm not trying to disparage like the Congolese people. It's like we have a problem of elitism that are not being held to account all over the world. Do you know what I mean? Whether it be white, black, red, and these elites here are going to use national pride, racial pride, tribal pride, whatever sort of thing, division to get into these people's head to divide us. And that's why I say we should promote more so economic populism to bring like the working class white majority on board with us, because for like the host said, she doesn't live in Europe. She doesn't live in Europe. You know what I mean? She lives elsewhere. Most people like such as myself, my sister, my mom, we live in the UK. We have to vote in the UK. We have to live amongst these whitey people. So I don't believe this is me like antagonizing them is necessarily the way to convince these people to vote alongside us. That's just my stance in it, based on what I've seen.
Okay, so like I said, I haven't lived in Congo. I was born and raised in the Netherlands, right? I have always lived among the whites. I have tried to assimilate, adapt. When I talk, people think I'm white until they see me, right? This still doesn't help us. I'm still not a person. They still don't care. They might like me because they think I'm like them, because sometimes I sound like them until I actually talk, and then they stop liking me.
For God's sake.
I need us to understand that we need to unite, and this system doesn't work. We can't rebuild on a system that is literally created to keep us down and hopefully unalive us, right? But before we do, they need to take whatever they can from us. We cannot pretend as if it will help to be nice, right? Talk to them on their level. Pretend as if they don't understand what is going on, baby them, hold their hand, and hope that they will see the humanity in us, because it has been years. Right, so this can't work. Like, I understand the idea because you have a different perspective. You have witnessed the corruption of our country and of our people, but that still comes. That is still a direct effect of colonization, of neo-colonialism, of whitey supremacy. And if we don't dismantle that, if we don't understand, their economics is based on our country, right? On our continent, on our resources. So no, we don't need them. It would be nice if they wake up. I'm not done talking. I didn't interrupt you. Thank you. It would be nice, but it's not helping. What we need is unity amongst everybody who isn't white. Yeah, that is going to get us somewhere, because we as Black people can all come together, which we should do. However, if all of the other non-white people go with the whites, we are still effed. If we don't all wake up, we're not going to get anywhere. That was it.
So
1 minute, Leon. So 1 minute. When you have white people in the comment section clapping for you, that's simply you should know that that's a big problem. And it's exactly what Water Goddess is saying. It's exactly what I'm trying to say. I think let's move this again to tomorrow's conversation as well, because I think this needs to be a Black diaspora conversation. It's not a conductive conversation in this space. And I do not uplift white people, especially the racist white people who are co-signing what you're saying right now, Leon. I don't do it. So, Leon, I would invite you to come to tomorrow's conversation, please. I think it will be very, very good that we actually continued this tomorrow morning. So I run it from 9 a.m. GMT time, and then we can talk about more things that are happening in the diaspora. You can tell us more about what's happening in Congo, what's been happening in your perspective, and then, of course, Water Goddess, I think you'll be there again tomorrow. So, and we'll have more black and brown brothers there to discuss this. Yeah.
I understand. I'm not like out here trying to like, I just want to make this clear. I don't fuck with white men. You know what I mean? I don't. The thing is, it's like, I look at things from like a socio-economic point of view, not like racial. So like, I just try to take race out of this as much as I can.
I know,
because
but that's yeah, but that's the problem. And Water Goddess literally has just told you why that's a problem. It doesn't matter economically. We're very aware that the majority of white people in this 1%, this elite, is still white men. It's still them, and it's still their people who are still keeping us down. It is still white men. It is still them. It is still them. So let's talk about this tomorrow, I think, Leon. Honestly, I think it'll be really good to continue this. Thank you, brother.
Thank you for having me on the panel.
Thank you, no problem. Thank you. Okay, we've got Fairy Bread now. Fairy Bread, how are you, my dear?
I'm after that conversation, I think I'm exhausted. But like,
yeah.
And I've also got a fresh tattoo as well, so that shit hurts.
Oh, now, nice.
Yeah, I do. Like, what's it called? So we're gonna. I'm gonna say something, and I don't care how anyone feels about it. I don't care. My point is, I hate the word allies. I do not like it. I think it stands for nothing.
Exist.
It doesn't exist.
They don't exist.
Black people have zero allies. Why? You may ask me. Because allyship requires mutual benefit and gain. Right? It doesn't. That's the main principle of it. For me to be an ally to someone, I need to have mutual benefit and mutual gain. Right? Yeah. White people have zilch to gain from black people gaining any sort of equity. And I said equity, not equality, because I ain't looking for no more equality anymore. Right? I'm looking for equity. Give me my stool to stand on so I can see the football pitch. That is what I want. Do you understand? And I say that very funnily because I am 5'5" and short as hell. Okay, but like I want this to be known. Black people have zilch allies, right?
Yes.
We don't have. You do not gain from my equity. You gain zilch from my. In fact, you stand to lose from me gaining equity. You stand to lose from me gaining any sort of equality. So you are not my ally, my friend, and you cannot be an ally to me when you have systematically oppressed my people for years and continue to do so. It wasn't until 2015 that slave colonies stopped paying Britain for slavery.
Using our money still. Anyone who was a British citizen, including us, we still paid it.
Our money, bro. It wasn't until 2015 that Britain stopped gaining capital wealth from the slave colonies that they procured during the transatlantic slave trade. So that was around 400 years ago, by the way. It wasn't until 2015 that they stopped receiving any sort of payments from their slave colonies. And you want to sit here, look me into the eye, my eyes, look me in my eye and tell me that you are not a systemic problem and weight in our lives, that you do not in some sort of way gain from my oppression because you're poor. I don't care. I don't give a shit if you're poor. According to this Oxford study, Black people have to send in 60 times more applications. 60 times more applications to get the same job, even if they have the same requirements, even if they have the same qualification, even if they are overqualified for the job, they still have to send. So they have to send 60 times more applications. Black women are 4 to 12 times more likely to unalive in the hospital whilst giving birth. And this has nothing to do with any pre-existing condition, any sort of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Oh my days, coexisting is something, there's a word, it will come to me later. Any coexisting, pardon?
comorbidity.
That's it. Comorbidities. Excluding any and all comorbidities, we are more likely to unalive in the hospital due to medical neglect, due to the racial system that they think that black women feel less pain, so therefore require less attention, therefore require less medication, therefore require less medical care. That is what they think of us. And on top of that, sickle cell is still not seen and recognized as a disability in the UK. But cystic fibrosis is. And you want to sit here and tell me that I, as a person, do you know how terrified I am? And I'm being dead honest here. I have the sickle cell trait. Do you know how terrified I am to have a child with sickle cell anemia? Do you know the amount of fear that runs through my body, knowing that I have the potential of passing that down to my child? Because I know I'm going to be with a black man. I know I'm going to marry a black man. That's already been known. That's already there. But I'm fucking terrified because I know how they'll be treated. They'll be treated as drug seekers. They'll be treated as people that are malingering. They'll be treated as absolute trash, absolute horror. And I'm terrified of that. And you sit here and you look at me in my eye and you tell me that I have no reason to fear because racism has somehow gotten better.
Yeah. Should we link this to the topic? Everything that you're saying, it is literally because white men set this system up.
Yeah.
It is literally the reason why Fairy Bread is saying what she's saying is because literally white men have become the world's problems. This level of discrimination that we experience, even down to our healthcare, especially as black women, is because white men have become the world's problem. This is literally it. This is literally what we're trying to fight every single day. And so when we have ignorant white men saying, oh, no, it's not a problem, it's not a problem. It's not a problem for you. That's where you're coming from. It's not a problem for you, but it's a problem for the rest of us. Really and truly. KF, you're so stupid and so ignorant. You don't know anything about healthcare outside of the NHS. The NHS was established in the 1940s after the Second World War. You think that there was 1951. So stupid people like that person in the comment section thinks that there was no healthcare, no medication, nothing in the world for 300,000 years until the NHS came along. And who props up the NHS now? Not the white man. It's what? Immigrants. It's black and brown people propping up the NHS. You did say that, KF. You literally said, let's read it all together, the words that you typed in the comment section. Let me go back. Where is it? I lost it. Where is it? Can anyone find it? I've lost it, where he said it. He said something about the NHS. He said, you go... Oh, it says, but at least NHS is free. Back home, you would just die. NHS is not free.
Taxes.
You pay your taxes, dummy. It's not free. And again, you know I'm not even in the UK. KF is just saying all kinds of nonsense shit in the comment section. And this is why I said Leonotis. Sorry, I get tongue-tied and pronouncing names is quite difficult for me sometimes. Leonitis. You have somebody like that saying what they're saying, agreeing with you. That is a problem. That's a problem.
Problem with raccoons. This is the problem with raccoons. And sorry for quick, but this is the problem with raccoons, because that's why I get so irritated when black people be talking about black business in mixed company, because then you have the entitlement that they feel as though they can say whatever the hell they want to say and they can get away with it because you're saying it. And that's why I have such a huge issue with talking about black problems in mixed company, especially things to do with the diaspora. I have no problem telling you that black women are unaliving at a horrible rate, because at the end of the day, that's a way of life. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. But I ain't gonna talk about Congo's problems with my man here chatting the most what he can talk. And by the way, the NHS is not free. You pay £18 to £30 depending on how much money you earn. So don't even try that bullshit with me, because I checked. You understand? And I misspoke when I said sickle cell is recognized as a disability, but there's something that there's a petition that they're trying to sign, but I'll do more research for it because it's wild. The first person Do you know how wild it is that the first person to be cured of sickle cell anemia is in 2020?
I saw. Oh no, hold on. Wasn't it the guy and the kid in the US right now?
Yeah.
Or is it done before then?
No, 2020. That is exactly it. 2026 in Louisiana.
Yes,
You
I
know,
saw.
the first person to be cured of cystic fibrosis was in the 1980s. That's how far medicine has come along for Black people. And you want to sit here and tell me? In fact, it's so bad. The rates of which Black women are unaliving in the hospitals are worse now than they were 10 years ago.
Yeah. So, guys, this has been a really interesting conversation. Of course, we've ended up having quite a Black diaspora conversation, African conversation, which again, we're going to move a lot of that to tomorrow. But generally, of course, as we've seen throughout this live today, because I am finishing it now, guys, is that we've realised, of course, as the global majority, we've always known that white men are a problem, but we've seen two situations really today, haven't we? We've seen the white men come up, not being able to string sentences together, which is quite usual. They've been grunting and groaning and interrupting as they always do. But then we've also seen other white men, two white men, that I've said, well, what are you doing actively with your privilege, which I've talked about with another gentleman during the week. And they are afraid. White men are afraid. They've never really been victims of anything, but yet they're still fucking afraid. And we have to ask the questions now, why? Why are they so afraid to stand up to other white men? Because we're using our voices here. We're Black and brown women. We've always been on the front lines of this shit. We've always been fighters. We've always been standing up for ourselves and for other people. Why are white men afraid? We've had to sacrifice ourselves over and over and over and over again. Cowards, exactly. White men are cowards. Absolute cowards. And Naya, exactly. They don't want to lose their privileges. Absolutely true too. Nate, toxic masculinity and ancestral fear. See? This crowd is educated. People, when you come to the comment section, you come up on my live, you come and speak.